are just getting started.
Sports talk it is.
Your hosts, Tony Gwynn Jr.
Man, my dad used to come home with those double beef and cheddars with the barbecue sauce that they used to come with it. Douse it up.
And Chris Ello.
Yow!
It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports.
Yes!
With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, what's happening in San Diego? Welcome to it. It is the weekend, Friday, and Friar Friday as we head into a great sports weekend, Dodgers and Padres, and everything going on at Petco Park. And we welcome you to all the coverage here on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., who is down at Petco Park getting ready for tonight's Padres-Dodgers game. Matt Scraby alongside here, and the Odyssey Palace Studios. We've got a lot to get done today, including our Friar Friday interview with Donovan Solano, one of the newest Padres. Actually, I think he's the newest on the big league roster.
Yes.
Padres. He will be joining us in about 5 or 6 minutes from Petco Park, so we will get to that shortly. But before we get into anything too much today, I got to take a minute here, guys. And the reason I got to take a minute is because we all should take a minute. Shawn Burrows, the former number one draft choice of the San Diego Padres, has passed away. He has died. The ESPN story I'm reading here says he died at the age of 43. I've read others that said he passed at the age of 44. I guess we could confirm that one way or another. He was coaching his son's Little League baseball team last night and collapsed and passed away. This is a horrible story, first of all, because I know many of us out there knew Shawn Burrows, or at least covered him, or as fans saw him play. But it's this latest reminder to me, Tony Gwynn Jr., you're going out to the Padres game tonight. You're going out, to root for the Dodgers. You're doing whatever it is you've got to do this weekend. Hopefully you're spending some time with loved ones and family. But please do yourself a favor. Enjoy yourself. And, take a minute to try to put it all into a little perspective tonight. If the Dodgers beat the Padres or the Padres beat the Dodgers, that it truly is not the end all. And I don't know. This all caught me tonight because I know everybody's going into this weekend baseball series, Tony, thinking this means everything, and it isn't. It doesn't mean everything. It's a baseball series, and we're not guaranteed anything. So let's truly enjoy ourselves and take a moment to remember that in his passing in his honor. So.
Yeah, man. I didn't. You guys informed me right before the show. I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
The news yet, and you're right, Chris. It really, we'll play these 3 games and it'll be everything to everybody in it, but it is a reality dose check. Hold up, there's balls flying up here.
Oh, really?
It's like, what is that sound?
Are you gonna do a John Sterling announcement here? Here's a foul ball coming up this way. Ow!
That's probably one of the closest ones that I've ever had.
Wow.
It bounced, hit the top, but to get back on the serious point,
yeah,
it'll be everything to everybody. It is, but these type of things that happen, it's a dose of reality on how insignificant it is compared to life, right? And Shawn Burrows was a part of this Padre community. He was obviously a guy who we saw basically grow up. I mean, we saw him in Little League. And that transferred all the way to the pros, and it didn't go as I think many of us thought it was going to go. But man, that's sad, man, to lose your life at that young of an age, and to be doing it. I can't even imagine what his kid is feeling, who was on the field when he was coaching his son's
Little League team. Yeah,
Little League team. Like, I can't even imagine that. That is so sad in so many different ways, man. And prayers to the Burrows family for sure.
Yeah, Shawn Burrows was a legend in Little League Baseball. And it's interesting that he was coaching Little League Baseball. He threw back-to-back no-hitters to help Long Beach win the Little League Championship. 1992 and 93, they won 2.
Yep.
And he was the dominant player on that team, and ended up, as you said, being the number 1 pick of the Padres, number 9 overall. His dad, Jeff Burrows, was Jeff Burrows was the number 9 pick. Anyway, Jeff Burrows won an AL MVP, actually, back in 1974, and his son, Shawn, was a Padre. He had some substance abuse problems and was able to overcome all of that, and it appeared like he, had his life together, and then it is taken from him far too soon. So anyway, before you feel like you're going to wring the neck of the guy sitting in front of you tonight at Petco Park because he's cheering for a team other than yours, maybe you think twice about it and relax, and let's try to get along and enjoy ourselves heading into the weekend. It's a big deal, the Padres and the Dodgers. We have fun with it. They only get to play in San Diego twice, right, the entire season, 2 series. So it's always fun when the Dodgers come in here. And you've got Glass now pitching for an L.A. team that has won 7 straight games. They are going to be very tough to beat. Michael King will pitch for the Padres in Game 1 of the series. The Padres are feeling pretty good about things as well, though, Tony. They've won 6 of 8, and, they'd like to keep that going. A series win over L.A. with Colorado coming in behind them would help the Padres start getting where they want to go. So
no doubt. I mean, obviously, you got one really good team coming in. And, there's no really nice way to say it.
No sugarcoat.
One really bad team coming in. Yeah. And so, that if it looks anything like the first series, it's going to be a hard-fought series between the Dodgers and Padres. But on the backside of that, you hope to be able to stack some wins together against the Rockies. Now, we said that last time. We went in there for a 4-game set. It was looking quite beautiful. Looking like we were going to slide out of that bad boy with 3 out of 4, and then all heck broke loose there. So, we ended up splitting. And so, I think the Padres are playing some of their best baseball. And, I say that because they've also had some of their best starting pitching. When they get good starting pitching, Padres are at the very least in the ball game and have a chance to win. When they haven't got good starting pitching, they haven't been in the game as much and had a chance to win as much. And so I think those things are the constant when it comes to this ball club. If they pitch well, they got a chance. And and I think this offense they've proven more than capable of being able to put enough runs up.
Yeah, offensively, these are the top 2 hitting teams in Major League Baseball.
Dodgers,
in
Padres,
terms of batting
top 2,
average,
yep.
Yeah. Dodgers are 270, I believe. Padres are 260, 261, but they're the top 2 hitting teams in the league. So, both teams can score runs. The Dodgers can score runs like no other team in baseball, and that's why you've got to try to limit them a little bit and, come up with, as you said, a good start. Now, Michael King has been as inconsistent, really, as any Padres starter, Tony, right? I mean, his first 3 or 4 starts shut down, 3 runs here, 2 runs there, no runs there. Then all of a sudden gave up 7, 6, and 6. And then last time out, 6 shutout innings at Arizona. So hopefully that was a step back in the right direction for Michael King.
For sure. He pitched a gym against this ball club the first time around.
Dodgers,
Yeah, ground ball city. I mean, it wasn't just ground ball. It was a little bit of everything, actually. But he pitched very well in Los Angeles. So at least he's confident coming in. He's had some success. And that's – outside of maybe Darvish, I think there aren't very many pitchers that can say that they pitch against this team well.
Eric Lauer.
If Young Gomes was a pitcher, he would definitely shove.
For sure.
Eric
but
Lauer
either
is
way,
still in the Dodgers for some reason.
Either way, this is one of those series where it's a measuring stick test, right? You get to measure where you're at. You saw this team not that long ago in their place. You played them well. You took 2 of 3 actually, and now you're at home where you haven't played well, and so try to change that fortune around a little bit too.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
My question is The whole Jurickson Profar Will Smith thing, I know it's in the past with the irrelevant comment, but does that carry over at all? Do you think Jurickson is holding that to himself as a comment to fuel him?
Jurickson poured cold water on it right after it happened.
Yes, he did.
He did. He did not allow for that to continue. He had matter of fact, he had it set up perfectly. Right after that happened, let me remind folks, Will Smith said that he was irrelevant. The following day, he hits a big double that basically gave them the victory. And when he had the lob, the interviewer, he put the lob question right at the rim. All he had to do was just jump and dunk it in. He decided to be a pro. Didn't even dignify it. And so, from that standpoint, it's water under the bridge. However, that happened in Los Angeles. So this is the first time San Diegans will be able to give Will Smith their thoughts on it. And so if there's something I know about San Diegans, they love to be able to give a good boo somewhere when it comes to the Dodgers.
We need a good irrelevant chant starting.
Well, I think it's very simple, Scraby. You just put a picture of Brock Purdy up on the scoreboard.
Why?
When Will Smith comes up,
catching strays from a Dodger-Padre game.
When Will Smith comes to bat, we just put a picture of Brock Purdy up instead of Will Smith batting.
I feel like that's too smart for a lot of people, though.
That would probably a lot of people
They might not
figure
catch
that out, including you.
Yeah,
including you right now, because you didn't
understand. I just thought you were taking
it.
a shot at Brock Purdy for no reason.
No, it's the Mr. Irrelevant thing. I agree with you, Tony, that it's out of Jurickson's mind and he's moved on. But I also agree with you that it's not out of the minds of San Diego fans. Will Smith is going to get greeted rudely tonight. And to be honest with you, I think a good loud dose of booze or two is well deserved for his comments, because they were not good. They were not fair. They were just taking a cheap shot at a guy that, frankly, is the last thing to deserve that kind of comment.
You know what it kind of felt like? You know what it kind of felt like, Chris? It kind of felt like he was already annoyed of Jurickson. Because those words were, over that little bit of thing, saying someone was irrelevant, it just seemed like a little bit too much. And that leads me to believe, knowing how players work, that had kind of been on his mind for a little bit.
Yeah, the word irrelevant is interesting to me, because it seems like a word you don't just come up with in the middle of an interview.
Exactly.
It seems like it's something that he maybe has even said to teammates or something in the past.
Well, it's not the first time Jurickson has been involved. And remember, it happened with Kirsch a couple years back. It's not the first time Jurickson has been involved with one of those. But at this point, I think the one thing you know about Jurickson is when he gets in between those lines, he's competitive. And so, and going back to the situation, if you guys remember, Jurickson kind of owned what he did. His mistake was in that. I think in the moment he kind of was irritated, thinking they were throwing. He said, as I thought about it, I realized that's probably not what was happening there. But by that time, Will Smith had already jumped up. They're already having conversations. And then, he only, I think, raised the level when after the game, he called him irrelevant. So Padre fans will get their say in it today, though.
Yeah, little update. Will Smith comes in with 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. He does have a .331 batting average, .895 OPS. But Jurickson has more homers, more RBIs, and a better OPS than Will Smith so far.
Yes, Tony.
Scrape, is it my internet that's working?
I think it's your internet. I think it's your internet. It's okay, though. Right. Tony's not on camera. If you want to join us on YouTube, you can. Just search 97.3 The Fan, or go to Facebook, or go to X, 97.3 The Fan SD.
But you won't be able to see Tony yet.
I think our internet is being janky right now. So.
I love that word.
Janky internet.
Janky internet?
Being janky? Hold up. Dave Marcus is in the building. So before we go to break, I'm going to ask Dave real quick. Dave, I need you to pick up your headset and your mic. All right. Chris tells a story about a goals game in which they tried to have the fan move to the side. He would refuse to move. So whoever Chris's broadcast partner was got up, took his headset off, and began to scrap with this fan. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I told the story last year. I remember I'd done the Get to Know Dave segment. Yeah, it's
Oh, you told that in the Get to Know Dave segment?
Yeah, see?
It's okay. It was over a year ago, but
my
yeah,
fault.
Ron wanted to. The guy kept talking, and like mocking him doing play.
Oh, okay.
That's
You
what it
left
was,
that part
yeah.
out, Chris.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I had
so
forgotten
that's-
what led up to it, but I knew it was
You
something.
made it seem like he just got tired of the guy not moving and went down there and beat him down.
They said, "I'll meet you after the game. We'll fight, whatever it was." And I was like, "What's going on here?" This is a first.
I forgot about that. Sorry, guys.
One. That was a good one. All right, we'll have a little bit more on that coming up later in the program. But we're going to step aside right now. Donovan Solano should be joining us any moment. We were kind of hemming and hawing, waiting for that, but hopefully that'll happen when we come back. Gwynn and Chris is indeed, though, underway.
Don't have time to
2:19 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scravy. Friar Friday is here. And our Friar Friday guest is here as well. Joining us here on Gwynn and Chris, new Padre Donovan Solano joins us here. Donovan, welcome to San Diego. Thanks for coming on today. How are you?
Oh, thank you for the welcome. Yeah, I'm good. Enjoy the city. Yesterday on my off day, I'm here back at the base again.
I tell you what, be able to get an off day in San Diego when you first join the ball club is got to be a bonus. Let's talk a little bit about the journey and how you ended up getting here to San Diego. We knew that it seemed imminent that you were going to have a chance to come up here. You come up, you waste no time, you get a couple knocks. I mean, how have you felt like in terms of the fit and getting to know your teammates? How has all that been so far?
I mean, before be with the team, get on my deal minor league, I knew this team was gonna win, so I was excited. So the first thing I did when I'm signed is like go to a minor league to get ready. I want to be here the quick as possible because I want to know everybody. I want to be part of these. They want here like the win, go to the playoffs, and win the World Series for this beautiful city. So I'm excited. First day was excited. I tried to getting my bets for help the team win.
Donovan Solano is with us. Donovan, after last season in Minnesota, then you're a free agent. Does it ever get a little nerve-wracked during the off season, waiting for a new team to come along and for you to hook up with a new team? Because you had to wait a little longer than you might have wanted to for the Padres to come along.
Yes, I don't know what is the business going on, but I don't have any offers for the big league deal. So I'm waiting for the opportunity, and that's come out with the San Diego Padres. The reason I'm signed with minor league is because I don't have spring training, so I need to get my body in shape for the situation, get ready for the call-up. And at the same time, it's a time I passed with my family. I enjoyed it, but it was so weird because, and that time have like 15 years I'm going to a spring training, so it was a little weird time, but I enjoyed that time with my family at the same time.
Donovan, it was around, I think, 2019. You kind of finally were able to get your feet in and play some good baseball. I mean, you put some quality numbers up in your time in San Francisco and Cincinnati. There was a change between, 2016, 2019 as a hitter. What was that change for you? Because ever since we've got a chance to see you on a consistent basis, I mean, you put together a professional at bat every single time out. What happened in that change in terms of the hitting process?
Okay, that question give me a lot of people ask me about that question. And before 16, personally, in my life, inside my soul and my spirit, was something I need to change. So I'm praying a lot. I try to find my God, Jesus, and what is the Holy Spirit, and they help me a lot with my approach in the hitting. About I don't try to do too much. I just trust the process. I understand my approach, like try to find the barrel to the ball, and I don't try hit homers, and I just try to get a quality at bats and try to be simple. And I believe that God helped me everything in every aspect in the game, and that's what it is. That's why I changed everything. That's why I changed my number before and after 16, and it's not something like I working, physically. It's more like mentally, with my spirit, with my everything, my approach mentally instead of like physically. And I enjoy every moment in that day, and I'm enjoying like what God helped me in every at-bat. And the good reason is like I had a story say to everybody like it's like I do it, everybody can do it.
Donovan Solano's with us now. Real quick, Donovan, you're from Colombia. I don't know if Padre fans remember the last Colombian player we had here was Jorge Alfaro, and he was very, very popular in San Diego. Do you know Jorge? And if so, are you as crazy as Jorge Alfaro?
Yeah, I know him. I know Jorge Alfaro and Xander Chris May too. He's from Colombia too. So
Yeah.
those two guys, like I know those guys when I was we played together in Colombia, and I know Jorge is a little crazy, but at the same time, he's a good person, like Nabil.
Well, we appreciate the time, Donovan, and wish you the best of luck. I know you got a lot to do on your first day in San Diego playing for the Padres. Good having you aboard, and best of luck, man. Here's looking forward to you contributing to the success of this team this year.
Yeah, that's the plan. So thank you for welcoming me, and I will enjoy San Diego. I will enjoy this team, and it's gonna be a fun ride for this 2024 season. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you,
Perfect.
Donovan.
Thank you, Donovan. All right, there he goes, Donovan Solano, 36 years old. He's actually 6 years older than Jorge Alfaro. But, you got to make the Colombian connection there, Tony.
Yeah, don't forget about Nabil now.
Yeah, that's why I thought you were
Nabil's
going.
okay. Nabil Crisma, another Colombian. Yeah, all right. So
Yeah, no.
I'm one shy on my Colombian guys.
Well, you need to get up on that, Chris.
I'm doing my best. I actually have in front of me a list of Colombian Major League Baseball players, and I didn't see Nabil on the list, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
All good.
I
I'm
was
sure
able to-
Donovan. I'm sure Donovan will forgive you for that.
He will
there,
forgive me.
Chris.
Yeah.
Padres in action. Dodgers, Padres. You know how that goes. If you got tickets, I suggest you get here early, because I imagine it's going to be pretty thick in here, and loud. And does everybody keep their hands to themselves? Can we? Do you think that can happen for a weekend?
No, we've already been over it.
I don't need. I don't either.
I brought up videos of Padres fans fighting Padres fans like 3 weeks ago at
Yeah,
Petco.
man. Let's keep it peace, man. Let's keep it peace.
I said last night on this Gravy Show, I don't want to see Petco Park and a bunch of these Major League Baseball fight accounts tweeting out, because that's what I see, and it's just not good. I don't want to see it.
I think we're gonna see it though, buddy.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we're
sorry.
going to see it. We
We're
are
gonna-
going to see it. Chris is going to be in the
Hopefully-
middle of it all.
What? How am I going to be in the middle of it all?
Chris said yesterday on the
Not gonna be
roundtable he loved the bird flipper. And
I did
so
love
he's
the
gonna
bird flipper.
flip birds.
The bird flipper was hilarious. You got to admit.
Oh yeah, the bird flipper is great.
I'm not saying I condone the bird flipper. I'm just saying that the bird flipper cracks me up every single
too.
time.
I saw. Hey, you know what's funny? I've already seen the bird flipper at least once today on social media. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be the
Yeah.
rounds of that bird flipper will be going around
Forever.
for quite a while,
Yeah.
especially this
It's
weekend.
So funny.
It is funny, for sure.
But are you going to be that guy, Chris?
What, the bird flipper?
Yeah.
No, I'm a good fan, man. I sit back, relax, and enjoy the game. I don't get into being worried about other people. I really don't.
All right.
And we talked
Yeah,
about
you
talked
gotta
about
have-
this in the sports court yesterday. I just like to stay to myself, watch
A
the
bird.
game.
I mean, if you're gonna be a bird flipper, you should at least be provoked. You know, like you can't just
Be
randomly
provoked.
go around bird flipping people.
I think the bird flipper we're talking about was not provoked. It looked like he just turned over and just did it.
It was a moment of happiness, is what
It
it,
was.
looked like
It
to me,
was.
and
It
that's why
was.
it makes me laugh every
yes,
time.
me too. Me too.
Hopefully, there'll be more moments of happiness this weekend.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't
Let's
know
get
what
back
time
to,
it is.
No, let's get back to break and we'll get back on track.
Okay, let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
The biggest
I'm only at participating Wendy's.
Stay up to date with everything going on with the Padres with the free Odyssey app. You can receive push notifications for breaking news and listen to your favorite fan talk shows.
Oh, lineup must be out. That's what that means. Welcome back into Gwynn and Chris Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. And Matt Scraby alongside here in the Odyssey Palace studios. Thanks to Donovan Solano for joining us today, our Friar Friday interview. Said, he knows Jorge Alfaro, and he knows that Jorge's crazy. But he also said that Jorge is a really good guy, and Donovan Solano sounded like a really good guy. And he plays in San Diego as a Padre for the first time tonight, although he is not in the starting lineup. The lineup is pretty much what we've come to expect here over the last week or so. Tony, Luis Arraez will lead off at DH tonight. Fernando in right field. Jake at first base. Manny at third base tonight. Always good to have Manny at third. If nothing else, just to watch him play third base. Jerks and Profar in left field. Xander Bogaerts at second base. Jerks, Jackson, Maryland center. Campusano and Kim round out the Padre lineup tonight against Tyler Glasnow, who was throwing darts in Korea and has been throwing all that since. He's 6-1 with a 2.70 ERA. I think he's only really had one bad start this year, inflated his ERA. Otherwise, he's been lights out for LA. 63 strikeouts. Last I checked, he was leading baseball. But you pointed this out, Tony. The Padres have been doing a good job of putting bat on ball this year. Much better than in past years, and that's one of the reasons why they're hitting 261. They're putting a lot more balls in play than they have in the past.
It's a good test case, a good test study, I should say, of why approach matters, right? Because the Padres, I would say, from 2020 to 2023, pretty much had the same approach, right? It was go big or go home most of the time. I think now, with their approach being centered on hard up the middle, you've seen the strikeouts come down. This is not a team that punches a ton. Who was it that punched him out a whole bunch? Was that Suarez? I can't remember who it was. Somebody punched him out a lot recently. I'm going to go back and look at my little scorecard.
Suarez?
But
he's been doing that to everybody. So.
He has. But it's just been so much better, and more balls in play give you a better opportunity. And the Padres have been that team this year, and so it's gonna be put to the test today, though, because this dude he ain't throwing softies up there for sure. It's coming in hot. It's coming in real hot,
and
actually.
It's moving all over the place, isn't it? Looks like it's tough to catch, honestly.
I mean, at 99, it's definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely moving at a rate that you don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, Padres are one of 10.
It was Lodolo. Lodolo had 11 of those bad boys.
Yes, Lodolo. But that really, like you said, it hasn't happened that much, and the Padres are one of only 10 teams in baseball so far this year that have not struck out 300 times. They're at 297, but they're not at 300. So, the Dodgers have even struck out more than the Padres this year. So I think it has served San Diego well. Mike Schilt was on with Ben and Woods this morning. Thought we'd hear a little bit from him as we get ready to go into the weekend series here. Scraby, we'll just start at the top. Luis Arraez makes his Padre home debut tonight. Mike Schilt with Ben and Woods talking about what it's been like having Luis around.
Dang it. I was trying so hard to get there.
I was trying to give you time to get there.
We were having a very in-depth conversation in the break about something completely unrelated to the show, and I completely forgot. No, we can't actually share that.
Really?
But, all right, now I have it, Chris.
Go for it.
Yeah, he's been a value add across the board. Obviously, this dude can absolutely flat out hit. What a surgeon with the bat, and what a debut, too. I mean, just put on an absolute clinic, and he's going to elevate us clearly at the top of our order. Quality of bats, being able to get on base. Also, bottom of our lineup needs to get on. He'll drop some guys in as well. So a lot of benefit to him, but also just the residual benefit of what he's going to do to just a pro at bat, man. And he's just a guy that just likes to play. He loves to play, and has great energy. He's one of these guys that are going to bring people along with him. And so there's just a lot to like about Luis.
Yeah,
me too.
The fact he's hitting 400 for the Padres, it's early, but hitting 400 is something to like too. About Luis Arraez,
it just reinforces that point though that we were just making about approach. I mean, this is probably the guy with the best approach in baseball, and when you have a guy like that at the top of your lineup that's going to set the tone every day. Jerickson was doing, by the way, Jerickson was doing a good enough job on his own, honestly, but I just think it reinforces that kind of thought process. Victor Rodriguez has, from the beginning, I mean, even before spring training, he had been talking to these guys about their approach, what they wanted to do as a team. I mean, the Petco Park style, if you will. And when you're a coach and you get somebody, you acquire somebody that kind of already embodies that, and he's at the top of your lineup every day, it makes it easy for your message to get across. Because you could just say, hey, watch this. This is what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Watch
What are you after, Coach? Look at this guy.
Look at this guy. Look at Jerickson. Watch how he puts together this at bat. Like that's coaches can talk in your ear all they want, but it's a lot easier when they can point to a guy and be like, hey, just watch him.
Yeah. It'll be fun to watch Luis Arraez at home starting tonight. Will not be as fun facing Tyler Glasnow. We talked about that. Here's Mike Schilt talking about that with Ben and Woods earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the guy's got a nice arm. They got a good club, and but I say it, and we'll continue to say it's respectful of the opponent, but it's about how we compete and how we're going to get after it and how we're going to play the kind of baseball that we played that has been able to be successful for us. And again, we click a little bit more in some areas. It'll only continue to get better, but we'll show up and we'll be ready to rock.
They are going to show up. That's good to hear. That's good to know. Glasnow did pitch in the season opener in Korea against the Padres, 5 innings. Did allow a couple of runs in that ball game, but looked really, really, tough to hit. Padres did not see him in the second series, the one up in L.A. a couple of weeks ago. But as I said with Glasnow, he's given up 2 or fewer runs in 6 of his 8 starts. He gave up 3 in 1. So 7 of his 8, he's been 3 or fewer. He had the one where he gave up 6 to the Nationals. So he can be hit if he's not locating.
Listen,
the key is the Padres got to find some of those pitches and do something with them.
I'm going to go back to the approach thing because approach really matters when you're facing the likes of a Glasnow, when you're facing the likes of even Imanaga, right? Like, your approach has to be on point. And I thought, and the funny thing is they lost both of those games, but in terms of the at-bats and how they competed in those at-bats, those are probably the 2 best games I think the Padres have had. In terms of up and down the lineup, Glasnow has the ability to he's the type of dude that can have a Kerry Wood type night where he's punching out 20. Something crazy like that, right? But
I hope you're wrong, but I guess so.
I'm saying he can have that kind of. But when your approach is as such as we've seen the Padres, you can stave off some of that stuff, and you can make it more difficult on a good pitcher like that. So we'll see how it unfolds tonight. But I think the Padres are in a good place coming into the series.
Yeah, Glasnow's best performance this year was a month ago in Minnesota. 7 innings, Tony. Struck out 14, walked none. So Padres got to avoid that kind of night. Get the ball in play on him. Make that Dodger defense work a little bit.
I have an update on Mr. Joe Musgrove from Jeff Sanders tweeting just a couple minutes ago. Joe Musgrove is heading out to play catch for the first time. He said he had some imaging done. Everything looks good. He still says he's expecting the minimum stay on the IL, so that's good.
There's a lot of people that don't believe that.
I know someone who doesn't believe that.
Yes, I do too.
It's not me.
No, it's not you for a change.
It's not you for
It's
a
actually
change.
somebody else.
Who?
Not
Don't worry
saying,
about
not
it.
throwing them under the bus.
Don't
we don't
worry
do that.
about it, son.
You throw people under the bus.
Jeez.
We don't. We don't. We protect the identity of
Well,
people.
usually you're taking shots at me, so I had to defend myself.
Well, if it was you,
that.
if it was you, we'd have definitely let everybody know by now.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
Oh, they're giving it to me on the chat. Okay, I see who it is.
Well, let them give you whatever they give you on the chat, but it did not come from us. But yes, there was somebody said he wouldn't be back. Hopefully, he will be, and that seems to be underscored by who? Who was it in the report? Not Jeff Sanders, but who did Jeff Sanders say that they were saying? Ruben?
What?
No, it was Joe, I think.
Yes,
right?
Joe said it.
Joe
I see what you're trying to
that.
get at. Okay. Yes, it was Joe. Joe said. Well,
Okay.
he said, but Joe is the
Got
he
it.
in the sentence.
I got you.
I believe.
All right.
Man,
This is getting confusing.
I need to go back to like 3rd grade and figure this one out.
All right, a couple of more things from Mike Schilt. This one about Xander Bogaerts. And, you know, this has gotten to nothing's a crisis point in May. But, I mean, I know Xander Bogaerts is probably going through this, Tony. It's got to be driving him crazy. He's been such a good pro for so long. I don't know that anybody has stuck up for him more than we have on this program. And assuming that he is going to get hot and get back to hitting like Xander Bogaerts can. But it's so far is not happening for him. And here's Mike Schilt talking about Xander trying to reset, clear his mind, and go back to work.
Well, it's harder for them to reset and find their way, especially guys like Bogey, who cared so darn much, you know, and wanted so badly, not only for himself but for the organization, his teammates. I mean, this is a guy that, you know, does want that 3rd ring for this group. But that's the other flip side of it. Does have 2 rings and has had, you know, and you know, the comforting part. Look, you know, we love on him. I love on him. You know, his teammates love on him. The staff loves on him. He knows he's supported. You know, and you know, in talking to him, he's like, man, this thing is, it's been worse. You know, and so you got a reference point to know that this guy has gone through something similar. Look, if you're going to play 10+ years in the big leagues every day, if you don't think you're going to have stretches where it's just not very good at this level, I mean, you're kidding yourself. But think about this. Think about how many people have those stretches but never get out of them and are up and down guys or don't come back, don't recover from the stretches. But that's why guys that have 10+ years of experience you can count on, because that's really the separator of what they've been able to do, how they made adjustments, how they've been able to get out of funks, how they've been able to still contribute to their team in other areas. So, you know, Bogey's, you know, obviously admittingly, you know, frustrated and struggling and super transparent. But, you know, we love him, support him, and, you know, the fact of the matter is we've given him a little bit of break. But you know, we trust him to be able to play out of it. But he has contributed. It's not like this guy's not gotten hits, hadn't done anything on the road. He got some big hits and some good at-bats for us to help us win that road trip. So it's not like he's not contributing anything. It's just relative to what his expectations are, and of course others. But, you know, all we can do is deal with our own.
Xander Bogaerts 1 RBI in the last 15 games, none in the last 10. So you know that you know, he's coming up with runners on base, Tony. He's thinking about it a little bit. There's no way you can't. He's a human being. So I ask the age-old question: what does he need to do to get out of this? From your perspective, it probably has a lot to do with not trying so hard, which is really tough for a guy to do.
Yeah, I mean the real answer, the honest answer is you got to just keep lacing them up and keep working at it. That's really the only way this changes. Like, yes, mentally, you know, you try to, you know, take your foot off the gas, not try so hard for results. I don't know if you guys saw the story Yonder Alonso told on MLB Network yesterday about my dad on his birthday. And he was, I'll just tell it real quick, he was marred in like an over stretch as a young Padre. And he said my dad met him after the game in his locker one day and said, meet me here tomorrow, 12, whatever. And so he showed up. My dad had his batting gloves and a bat. Then he says, meet me outside. So they go outside. They stand in the box. And he said, you know what? I want you, he said, you went over 4 last night doing it the wrong way. I want you to make 4 outs tonight. And, you know, as a hitter who's already over, hearing somebody tell you, I want you to make 4 outs today, Ken was like, what are you talking about, old man? Is what at least would have been going through my head.
Right.
But the point that he was trying to make was, I want you to make these outs the right way. I want your first at bat, hit a ground ball to third. I want your second at bat, hit a fly ball to left. And so he proceeded to do that again. He executed. He hit a ground ball to short. He said he came in after that bat. He looked up, and my dad was standing up, like cheering him on. The next at bat, he hit a fly ball to left. Exactly what my dad asked him to do. And the point was he wanted him to make these. You're already 0 for your last 20. You've already wasted 22 at bats. Why not try to make some outs the right way? And then you can kind of build from there. Long story short, I think he went 3 for 5, 3 for 4, 4 for 4, 2 for 4 the next 3 games. And I say that to say sometimes it's just about trying to do things right. Whatever's going on, if it's mechanics, I'm not sure or not, but he just has to kind of get back to some of the basics. Now, that being said, the only way you're going to be able to do that is by putting your cleats on and keep going to work. Put your hard hat on and just continue to keep working. That's the only way this changes.
One thing that I think you're getting at a little in your dad's story to Yonder Alonso, too, and for fans to look at, if you watch Xander Bogaerts tonight and beyond, I think we'll start to see him come out of it once we see balls going up the middle off his bat and balls going to right center and even to right field.
Yep.
That's normally a good sign that you're letting the ball travel a little bit. You're not lunging. You're not reaching. You're not off balance. And normally once you see that, it's when you start to see the hits follow. Is that true, Tony? Is that fair?
That is exactly what my dad was trying. Yonder, for those who remember, was left-handed.
Okay,
so hitting a ball to short, hitting a fly ball to left is exactly that reset that I'm talking about. And I'm not sitting here saying Xander needs to hit a ground ball to second, hit a ground ball to first, but get back to allowing you to be able to have a building block from something. And so I think that's where Victor Rodriguez and the staff is at with him right now. And, you know, these things, when you've created some bad habits or you've started in a hole, it takes some time to kind of get out of it. So, but as Schulte was saying, you can feel comfortable because of what you see on the back of that car. As bad as last season looked, he finished at like 280, around 280. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have the thump that he had in the past, but he at least, you know, that's in he's capable of that. And so we'll get it. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later.
Xander Bogaerts in the number 6 spot in the order tonight against the Dodgers. We're coming up on the top of the hour. I did want to get into an argument with you and have Mike Schilt get involved here about the defensive substituting of Profar for Zokar late in games. Mike Schilt talked about it. We talked about it. You and I and everybody else talked about it on the roundtable yesterday. I'm still not a fan of it, even though I've been explained to me a dozen different ways that Zokar is a better defensive player than Profar, and Schilt said the same thing today to Ben and Woods. But I don't know. I still want Profar in as long as he's doing the kind of damage he's doing. So I'll be wrong on that one.
I want $2 billion too, but it ain't happening. So we all want things, Chris, that sometimes we just don't get.
Yes, Mike Schilt says that what he said basically was that he feels Merrill and Zokar in center and left is as good as it gets defensively in baseball.
I agree.
And so he feels, with a 1-run lead in the late innings, that's what he wants rather than the potential of Profar's bat coming up again.
I don't know if it's the best because Toronto's outfield offense
Dalton
or outfield
Varsho is
defense
crazy.
is pretty ridiculous too. We watched those guys cover a lot of ground, but I agree. I told you guys I was confused at the premise during the roundtable. Even more, I don't understand why y'all don't understand, but
we don't. We don't get it. We totally don't get it. We love Profar so much right now that we don't ever want him sitting on the bench at any time, and we're just.
I totally get it, Tony. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Great baseball minds know what's up.
Yes, you are and when it comes to great baseball minds, you are the first thing I think of.
That's right. I know. Thank you.
Very good, Abner Doubleday.
I'm not going to fall for it and say, who's Abner Doubleday? Because I actually know.
He and I were the two that invented the game together back in the day. We laid out the first diamond. All right, first hour's in the books. Good show. Gwynn and Chris till 5:30, then Padres-Dodgers. Getting ready for the big weekend series on 97.3 The Fan. Hey, welcome back to Gwynn and Chris, hour number 2 of a Friar Friday get-together here on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. Tony will be back in and out on the program here as we go along towards 5:30, and he also gets ready for tonight's broadcast with Jesse Agler. Padres-Dodgers at Petco Park tonight. 6th meeting of the year. Padres lead the series 3-2.
I love
about
it.
that?
That's great.
Haven't won the season series in 13 years. Tony's 2010 team, the one that Tony played on, the one that almost won the division, was the last to win a season series from the Dodgers. That's how long ago it has been.
I think this is a must-win series for the Padres.
I know you do. I know you do.
I know you don't, but I do.
Don't. But again, in going back to what I said earlier this week, that they got to get over 500 at some point. So, winning 2 out of 3 here would set them up to get over the 500 mark for a while, because then you get the Rockies next. You'd like to believe you can win that, maybe even sweep that. It's hard to take 3 games all together at once, but the Rockies, I think, have already been swept 4 or 5 times this year. No reason to think the Padres can't do that, hopefully, one day to the Rockies. Anyway.
One day.
I know. But, 2 out of 3 over the Dodgers sets them up to maybe get a little run and get over that 500 mark. To that end, the Dodgers lineup is in. They're going with pretty much what you would expect, just as the Padres are. Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani. God, just listening to these names roll off the tongue, you get a little nervous, right?
Yeah,
Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, sucks. Teoscar Hernandez, 6th. Andy Pages. Pages. I've heard it pronounced. I pronounced Dylan Hernandez was on yesterday.
He said Pajes.
He did not.
Yes, he did.
He said
The same guy who said he didn't say the Angels are taking on the Angels said that Dylan
I know
Hernandez
I
did
said
say
that.
something.
Well, Andy whatever. Gavin Lux is hitting 8th, and James Outman is hitting 9th. So there's your Dodger and Padre lineups for tonight's. We gave you the Padres one earlier. It is pretty much normal with Manning, third base tonight, Arise leading off in the DH spot. All right, along with baseball, lots of NBA and Stanley Cup playoff action tonight. Knickerbockers going for a 3-0 series lead against the Pacers. I actually saw where Jalen Brunson is questionable for this game.
Oh, he's going to play.
I got to believe he's going to play. Rick Carlisle, the head coach of the Pacers, was fined today $35,000 for blasting the officials after the game the other night. He certainly blasted them.
Yes.
And the Pacers turned in videos that they say showed 78 missed calls in the first 2 games of the series. All I can say about that is, if that's what the Pacers are worried about, the series is over already. They're done. I mean, you can't go into a game looking for missed calls and feeling wronged by the officials. You can't win. And I think the Pacers' focus is in completely the wrong place. 78 plays. Here's the thing about the 78. If you really believed that the officials missed 78 plays against you, what if the Knicks had done the same thing in the same 2 games? Would the Knicks have found what? 0 that were against the Knicks? Of course not. There would have been 50 or 60 that the Knicks saw.
Yeah.
So if the Pacers can't get back to playing basketball, they might as well phone the rest of this series in.
That's when I saw this yesterday, I was thinking, man, you're kind of telling your team that the only you need to rely on the refs to win a game, and you need to rely on calls to win a game.
It gets annoying after a while that every time a team loses a game, it's because they're in a small market. Rick Carlisle said as much the other night, and that's why I got a fine. He said small market teams deserve an equal shot. They deserve a fair shot no matter where they're playing. Is Minnesota in a big market right now? They haven't lost a playoff game yet. Denver's the defending NBA champion. It's a pretty big market, but it's not New York. It's not Boston.
No.
Denver's beaten LA 2 straight years. In spite of the officiating?
I guess so.
So, it's getting a little ridiculous that the NBA is sitting there thinking, hey, we got a chance to get the Knicks into the finals, so let's just fix the games and eliminate the Pacers. If that's really the case, then we're all wasting our time.
Yeah.
Right? We're totally all wasting our time, even being sports fans in the first place. So I'm sick and tired of this whole notion. It's not true. Give it up.
I think the whole refereeing thing right now in the NBA is super weird because you can turn in plays that you think you should have had a foul,
and then the NBA says, you're right, it was a foul. But so what?
What is it going to do?
That's right. Good teams win the game. Bad teams complain about the refs.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. That's it. Because I guarantee there's been calls that have gone against the Knicks.
Of course.
Right?
Both
they didn't
sides.
just make 78 calls against the Pacers, but none against the Knicks.
Rick Carlisle even said they had more plays to submit, but they thought if they submitted too many, then they would get mad and they would start calling. So he said he didn't even submit some,
so
thinking that he would get some
78.
Calls. It's a very weird thing that he's claiming. Very weird.
You know what? I would really like it if I was reffing the game tonight, honestly, and I wouldn't. But if I was reffing the game tonight, Game 3, to just go in and start calling everything against the Pacers. And you know what? Then look over at Rick Carlisle and go, well, that's what you're expecting anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, really? I mean, by the way, I'm getting paid by the league to make these calls because we're cheating, on purpose so that the Knicks can win. I mean, the other thing that does is it takes away from everything Jalen Brunson's doing and everybody else on the Knicks.
Well, I think that's his point.
Well,
we've
been hearing this for years and years. And the funny thing about it is we used to hear this from Phil Jackson when the Lakers would lose a game, except for the small market part.
Yeah, you can't claim that.
No, but he would say, oh, the refs are taking the game away from us. So, and Pat Riley, when he was coach of the Knicks, did the same thing every single time that the Knicks lost.
Maybe it's the go-to.
It's just enough. You guys are making your own sport look bad. Let's go to the Daily Gambit.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Well, nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Let's get right into it.
You've been gambling responsibly this week. You
I
have
have.
A good record.
In the last, I would say, maybe 3 weeks, I've done okay.
People might start paying attention to some of your picks here.
I don't know about that. Boston Celtics against the Cavaliers last night. The Celtics were 13-point favorites. You guys took the Cavs. Chris and Tony did. I took the Celtics, and the Celtics once again let me down because they lost 118-94.
Wait a minute, Rick Carlisle. How did a small market team go into a big market city and win the game? Weren't the officials cheating in favor of Boston to try to make sure that the small market team doesn't win?
I guess so.
Get out of here. That crap.
OKC 5-point favorites over the Dallas Mavericks last night. We all chose Dallas. We were all correct. 119-110. Luka had himself a day.
Yeah, Luka bounced back after he was criticized for poor game one. He responded nicely.
Who had more points, Donovan Mitchell or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? You guys said Mitchell. I said SGA. SGA had 33. Mitchell had 29.
That's the Celtics' fault. Because Mitchell had 29 with 10 minutes to go, but Cleveland was so far ahead that he came out of the game.
So he didn't even have a chance
right,
to score
he didn't even
anymore.
keep playing because the Celtics were so far behind. But no, SGA had another good game in defeat this time.
Caitlin Clark made her Indiana Fever home debut last night in the preseason. Over under 20.5 points in this one. We all went over, and we all took hook, line, and sinker. She only had 12 points.
She was too busy taking. Yeah, it's a preseason game.
What were we thinking?
I don't know. We're all caught up in the Caitlin Clark hype with everyone else. That's all.
But yeah, she didn't shoot well last night.
When does the
just preseason?
I'm asking you a question that you don't know the answer
Soon.
to. Yeah. The question being, when does the WNBA regular season start?
I was going to see when the Indiana.
It's got to be pretty close.
No, it is. It's this month for sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna fall for it and not fall for it because I'm kind of looking forward to
Banana
it.
in the tailpipe.
I'm gonna watch the first Caitlin Clark game. I really want to see how she's gonna do against this kind of competition.
I believe it's in 4 days, actually.
Looking forward to it.
May 14th.
You're right. Yeah. Tuesday night. Is that? Yeah, this coming Tuesday. Indiana at Connecticut is their first game.
That is a quick, I'm not just saying it because it's women's basketball. That is a quick turnaround for any sort of athlete. Going from a basketball season where you played in the national championship game and right into your professional career.
It'll be interesting Tuesday night when Indiana plays at Connecticut, the WNBA opener. It's on ESPN2. Guarantee you there'll be NBA playoff games that same night. It's going to get bigger ratings. NBA playoffs or Caitlin Clark. I mean, she whipped the men in the NCAA tournament.
I think people are really interested in this, so I think they're going to win.
Interesting.
I can tell you right now, Chris, I have maybe watched 10 total minutes of game clock of the NBA playoffs, but I will tune in for Caitlin Clark's game.
All right.
I don't know why that is, but I will.
Very good.
All right.
As a matter of fact, that same night, Indiana Pacers are playing in New York against the Knicks. So
okay, so they don't have to move games.
They'll have a
or
comparison,
anything.
though, between the two Indiana
that's a good point.
franchises. They'll be playing at the same time.
Last thing is Carolina Hurricanes -1.5 on the puck line over the Rangers. Chris chose Carolina. Tony and I chose the Rangers, and the Rangers won 3-2
in overtime.
Oh, in OT, I didn't know that.
Another overtime game. I'm telling you, the Stanley Cup playoffs, you're missing out by not watching it. The Rangers went overtime. The next game last night was Colorado at Dallas. Dallas led 4-0 third period. Colorado came back to 4-3 and had a chance or two to tie before Dallas scored an empty net goal to beat them 5-3. But the Stanley Cup playoffs, they're so entertaining.
Yeah.
So entertaining. Rangers, by the way, are up 3-0 in that series now. Rangers are starting to think about a Stanley Cup for the first time since 1994. All right, do we have time? Or no, we'll do the picks in the next segment. We got to check some traffic for you.
Okay.
We'll do that. Want to remind you, Padres and Dodgers tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Sam Levitt pregame show. A couple of hours from now at 5:40, Tony Gwynn, Jesse Agler with the game call at 6:40. First of 3 at Petco Park. I was looking to see if I had any other things to read, but I do not. So we will check in with some traffic and then come back with our daily Gambit picks for tonight.
From the
Hi, welcome back. Gwynn and Chris, Chrisella, Tony Gwynn Jr. at Petco. He'll be back with us. We got our countdown coming up at the bottom of the hour. You'll enjoy today's countdown because it all leads to being able to rip on Scraby at the very end of the countdown.
Hey.
Well, I'm just saying people will enjoy hearing it. Dodgers and Padres, first of 3 tonight. Tickets are still available for the weekend. Go to PadresTickets.com. Divisional duel, Mother's Day weekend, etc. I'm glad I mentioned that, by the way.
Don't.
Not you, me, everybody. I'm reminding it's Mother's Day on Sunday. So
yes, I was on top of this, Mom.
No, I know. That's what I mean.
I think this is when my mom drives home from work, too.
So she'll know that you are being reminded.
Yeah.
I'm just sending out a reminder to everybody out there. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. So if you know what's good for you, don't forget. Coming up on Tuesday next week, Padres-Rockies, 6:40. First 40,000 fans in attendance are going to receive, if you're watching the YouTube chat, you're getting a Joe Musgrove bobblehead with his dog Theo. There's Theo. Is Theo's head bobble? Yeah, Theo's head bobble. Or Theo's head bobbles as well.
Theo looks like a cool dog.
He sure does. Joe Musgrove's a cool guy. It's the second of 5 bobbleheads this year. You can collect them all. Joe Musgrove repping a basketball jersey and a bucket hat while walking dog Theo. The item was limited to the first 40,000 fans on Tuesday night. Padres and Rockies. Learn more at Padres.com/giveaways.
2 things that I can't pull off.
What's that?
Basketball jersey, bucket hat.
Don't feel like you look good in a basketball jersey?
Oh, I definitely don't look good in a basketball jersey.
Then do us all a favor.
But the bucket hat was too small for my head, and I tried it, and it just ended up looking like a doily.
2 people look cool in the Joe Musgrove bucket hat.
Yeah.
Those 2 people are Joe Musgrove and Tony Gwynn Jr.
Tony Gwynn Jr. does look pretty good in a bucket hat.
Yeah, he does.
It's unfortunate for me.
I know. All right, picks for tonight. We got Game 3 of the Pacers-Knicks series. We already talked about Rick Carlisle, $35,000 poorer. Did all of his complaining pay off? Will it pay off? Will the NBA cheat in favor of the Pacers? You know, that's one last thing about when you're going to claim that the Knicks are only winning because of the officiating, then you better get ready for us to claim that if the Pacers win, it's only because of the officiating.
See, I'm not as bothered by this as
It's
apparently
really bugging
you
me.
are.
It's bugging me. It really bugs me. I'm tired because I've been hearing it for 30 years.
Well, it's never going to change, is it?
I guess not. But this is, the Pacers talk like this is the first time anybody's ever had this claim before.
Yeah, that is annoying. I agree with that.
So I'll take the Knicks +7. I get 7 points.
Knicks.
Pacers are at home for Game 3.
Yeah, I'm going Knicks, too.
You're going Knicks, too. I hope that every call goes against the Pacers tonight.
Every one of them?
Just all, 78 apparently. The refs have to work pretty hard to keep up their percentages.
That game would take 7 hours.
I mean, can you imagine there's 78 calls the refs have messed up. Minnesota is at home tonight, 3.5 points favorite over the defending champion Denver Nuggets. You would think this is last call for Denver. They're down 0-2.
That's what I'm saying.
So do they save it, or does Minnesota beat them again? Scrape.
No, I think Denver's gonna
go Denver here.
Give their best shot tonight. They
Denver.
can't. The MVP can't go down 4-0.
4-0 sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would seem to make sense, but as you've been listening to the last couple of shows, I'm overwhelmingly into Minnesota right now, so I'm gonna stick with that.
All right.
I'll take Minnesota. Who scores more points tonight? Ant-Man or the Joker? I'm first.
Yeah.
Ant-Man does.
You love him. I love him. Tony loves him.
I love the Ant-Man. Jokic, he needs a bounce-back game, though.
I think Joker's going to do it tonight.
Going to go Joker?
I think he's going to turn it on just because the talk is getting louder.
Well, there's people that said to his face, He didn't deserve the MVP award.
That's pretty bold, but
that's pretty bold.
Shaq
but when you're as big as Shaq, you can get away with saying
and Shaq
it.
also, has won. Did he won MVPs, right?
Shaq?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure before I said something.
Yeah, he won. I think 3 of them or so.
So he can kind of comment. I guess.
He can kind of comment, but it probably wasn't best.
No,
because the timing of it. They just announced it, and then they bring Jokic on to go, "Hey, you won! Congratulations!" And then Shaq's like, "Yeah, I don't think you really deserved it." Jalen Brunson, 35.5 points tonight, Scraby.
I'm going to have to say
playing
under.
on a gimpy foot.
That's why I'm going to have to say under.
I'm going to say under. I think a guy like Jalen Brunson just loves it. I mean, he came back and scored 20-something points in the second half the other night on a broken foot.
You're right.
I'll say over.
All right.
Jalen Brunson's been that good. Who you got? Padres-Dodgers. Dodgers favored by $1.50. A run and a half. Glasnow King is the matchup. That doesn't bode too well. I'll take LAD, and then I will hope the Padres get the next 2. Not liking the matchup tonight. Scraby, we're on a San Diego radio station. Are we both going to pick against the Padres?
See, I'm trying to pick with my head.
Yeah.
Which I do think the Padres are going to get up for this game. Even though Tony says that the irrelevant comment isn't going to be a factor, I really think it's going to be a factor. Jerks and Profar is going to make sure that they know he is not
the fans
irrelevant.
are going to remind everybody that it's a relevant comment because
I'm gonna go
they're
Padres.
They're going to be into it.
I'm going to go Padres, and they win by 1.
All right, Padres. Garrett Crochet.
Oh, my guy.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
He's on your fantasy team.
Yes.
He's 2-4 with a 5.31 ERA.
Yes, he is.
Which makes me wonder why he's still on your fantasy team.
Because I have like 6 pitchers on IL.
So you just need him.
I just need someone.
He does have 53 strikeouts, though, in 40 innings. His over-under for strikeouts tonight is 6.5.
Who are they playing?
Well, I knew you were going to ask that, and I don't have it handy.
Okay, let me see.
White Sox baseball.
I can go check my
Learn
fantasy
it, live
app.
it, love it.
They're playing the Guardians at
the
home.
Guards. Last night, the White Sox beat the Guards, and as a result, the White Sox have the second worst record in baseball now. Only the Rockies are behind them.
Really?
All right, so who do you want? Crochet over under 6.5
Let me
Ks.
just go to his page real quick.
I'll give you his game log.
Oh, that's what I'm looking at. So
He's been over 6 Ks 4 times. He's been under 6 Ks 4 times.
I think the Guardians are pretty good. I think it's going to be under.
Under? Okay. Garrett, Crochet, 7 strikeouts at least tonight against the Guards.
You think so?
You know why?
Why?
Because they're called the Guards.
Because you don't like them.
I don't like that. Stanley Cup tonight. Edmonton on the road, favored by 1.5 over Vancouver. Vancouver has the San Diego kid, goaltender Thatcher Demko, but he's not playing. He's hurt.
I know. We talk about it every day.
Well, it's reason to at least kind of keep an eye on Vancouver, but I don't know when or if he's coming back. Edmonton lost the first game in Vancouver, despite leading 4-2 in the third period. You're up or I'm up? I think I'm up.
Yep.
Edmonton's got to win tonight, so they'll even it up. I'll take the Oilers.
I'm going to go and switch mine up and say Canucks.
Vancouver. Okay. Stanley Cup playoffs, like I said, you can do a whole lot worse than tuning in a game. Even if you don't have a dog in the race, like wait for the third period, about 10 minutes to go. If it's a close game, watch it. Because they're going to just be after each other, trying to get every last ounce out of that game.
The fury that happens at the end of a hockey game is pretty crazy.
Yeah, right. I mean, Boston, Florida last night, I think, or the other night was 6-1. All right, so you're going to get a laugher like that, so be it.
Yeah.
But if you get one of those tight, good, close games, watch the end of it because they really play. All right, very good. There's our daily Gambit today. We'll take a break when we come back. Tony's back. Countdown. I'm not going to tell you what it's all about, but I am going to tell you that at the very end of it, we're able to make fun of Scraby.
Okay, but this is built for me, though.
I just want people to listen because they don't want to miss us making fun of you.
Oh, so they're not going to tune into the front part of it because it's at the end? Isn't that what you told me a couple weeks ago, sir?
Conveniently, I've forgotten saying
Oh,
that.
of course.
More Gwynn and Chris on the way.
Ben and Wood.
Fired up. Dodgers, Padres. A couple of hours away from Sam Levitt's pregame show. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. If you love Mediterranean food, check out Spiro's, especially if you're on your way to the ballpark tonight. Location at Petco Park, you can have Spiro's. Check them out down the third base line near the Western Metal Supply Company building. Also, they will cater your big office or home event. Check that out at spiroscuisine.com. Love Spiro's. Love a little Padre-Dodger baseball. Love a little hanging out with you on a Friday afternoon. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. And Mr. Scraby. Let's get into some traffic. And then it's
not ready
quite
yet. We got like a minute, and then we have to move along.
Would you like me to
do a jig,
tap
please?
dance for
yes,
a minute?
Please do a jig. While we have this short minute, I wanted to ask if you thought the NBA gave Patrick Beverley the right punishment.
4 games?
4 games.
For throwing a ball at a fan?
No, and the reporter thing about how you have to subscribe to the podcast to be able to get quotes from him. So 4 games. Last night at Scraby Show, I said, that is not enough. You threw a basketball, not once, Chris, twice at someone's head. That's crazy that he only got 4 games.
The only reason I can't totally comment yet is because I don't have something to compare it to. But it sounds like about a 10-gamer to me. I mean, you're
That's
right.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, you can't be fighting with the fans. I get it.
He said that the fans...
Ron Artest got kicked out of the league practically for a year or 2.
Yeah.
Of course, he went up and started punching a fan.
Yes, he did do that.
Wildly provoked, but he still did do that.
He said that the people said something nasty to him, and he said he's never really heard someone say that to him, so he lost his mind for a second.
Bev?
But Pat Bev, the problem with him, I'm willing to give someone a second chance, but Pat Bev, he's lost his mind a lot. I mean,
Pat Bev's a little loco out there.
It is. He is a little loco.
Yeah, if you're going to yell stuff at Pat Bev, you're kind of taking your own safety into your own hands.
You absolutely are.
Because there's no quite telling what response you'll get from Pat Bev, including a ball being thrown at your head.
True.
All right, here's our traffic, and then here's our countdown.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Got a couple of problems here, guys. Crash blocking lanes on eastbound King Freeway just before 32nd Street. Also traveling on southbound 15 before Arrow Drive. There is a crash. Not showing if lanes are blocked for this collision on eastbound 52, Mast Boulevard off-ramp. And Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's now time for Gwynn and Chris to rank their top 5 of the day.
Gonna grip and rip as usual.
But this isn't just a regular top 5 list.
I love it. It sounds sadistic, but I love it.
This is the countdown. And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, it is that time each week where we pick a subject, a topic. We count down our top 5 in that particular category. And this week... Of course, this weekend, the Padres and Dodgers are meeting at Petco Park, and that means that there will be a lot of focus, at least in the social media world, on the behavior of you guys out there. And I'm talking about you fans. Not just you Padre fans, but the Dodger fans as well. Can we all get along for a weekend?
No.
The answer to that is probably not.
The answer's no.
Let's hopefully keep it to a semi-minimum. But it did get us thinking, present company not included, because I think the Dodgers would run away with the category. Who are the most annoying fans in baseball? And that does not include the 2 teams that are playing here at Petco Park this weekend. But please, I'm going to go ahead and wish for this anyway. Please, Padres fans, please, Dodgers fans, don't make us redo the list next week.
I agree.
Don't make us redo the list.
Yes, let's see if we can't, somehow get out of there without anything major, crazy happening and them having to shut down Tony Gwynn Avenue after a game or something. I don't know what these people are going to do this weekend. Behave yourselves. Watch some baseball. All right, number 5. I'll start this week, and I'm going to go with the New York Metropolitan fans.
Good
The
one.
reason I'm going with the Mets fans is because they are just as arrogant and annoying and loud and proud as the Yankee fans, except for on top of that, you get the second piece of the puzzle, which is that Met fans already feel inferior to Yankee fans. So you get that you get that little feeling of inferiority along with the arrogance. It's not a good combination. I rank the New York Met fans 5th on my list.
Wow. Okay.
So there we go. We're underway.
This list was actually difficult for me to put because I consider myself to have pretty thick skin. So a lot of the things that would annoy most people don't necessarily annoy me.
That's true.
But I will put the Mets fans at 5, and it's only because of this reason. When we were there in 22, as the Padres were kicking their tail,
in the wild card,
there was a couple sitting in front of Jesse and I that kept standing up. They would not sit down.
Oh, I remember this.
They were told several times by the usher to, hey, the broadcasters kind of need to see the game. Could you sit down? And after the Padres got to whooping their behind, he was had a few adult beverages and he wasn't going to sit down anymore. And he proceeded to cuss me and Jesse out, mainly Jesse, but. At that point, I think they had to enter the top 5 list based on that. So,
what was the cussing out for? Because the Padres were winning, or because Jesse was broadcasting the game? Or?
It was ultimately because the Padres were kicking their butt, but it was also because we kept asking him to sit down.
Yeah.
What do you know what? Take it back. Jesse's right. What even asking him to sit down? We were asking him to move over, like a little bit.
Yeah.
And he, after the Padres took the lead, he didn't want to hear none of that.
Yeah. Jesse Agler, though, gets my nod for not going all Ron Oakes on these people. You guys don't know who Ron Oakes is. He was a friend of mine, voice of the Gulls. When I first started doing Gulls games, we actually had a fan in Phoenix one night standing in our way. Ron Oakes took off his headset and went to Fist City with the guy right there in the crowd.
City? First off, never heard of Fist City before. Second off, he fought a fan.
He fought the fan. Ron Oakes was a hockey guy, true and true. And he decided.
Wait, so he got up from his broadcast
took his headset
booth.
off. I had to take over the broadcast for a minute while Ron started trying to punch the guy out.
Oh my goodness. Fist City.
Hockey
Fist
guys
City.
are from a different cloth.
I guess so.
That is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Well, I mean, the same thing happened, Tony. We kept getting the usher, and the usher kept asking the guy to sit down, and the guy wouldn't sit. The whole thing. Ron just said Ron decided he'd had enough.
He's like, I'm taking care of myself.
Ask Dave Marcus about
part.
this. Dave Marcus remembers this. I'm almost sure.
All right,
Next
when he
time.
comes back, to his perch,
ask
I will
him.
definitely ask him.
Yeah.
My number 5 would be, and I think I'm just surrounded by too many of them, but Braves fans.
Okay.
Braves fans. I mean, we got Adam. I got one of my close friends. She's a Braves fan. I got a couple listeners that send me Braves clips. I do not care about Travis d'Arnaud and what he did in the 8th inning. Sorry. Not my favorite thing to talk about. But they certainly forced those topics on me. So Braves fans, and it's probably because I'm just too close to them.
Number 4.
All right, number 4 for me, after putting the Mets fans in there, I got to put the Yankees right on top of that. Because I know that the Mets fans have the inferiority complex, but the Yankees have such a holier-than-thou attitude beyond any team in baseball, Dodgers and everybody else included. They are the evil empire. They are the greatest franchise in the history of the sport. Everything has to run through a Yankee fan. Their arrogance is non-approachable. So I'm going to put there. No, nobody
Second
can be
to none, maybe?
Yes, that too. You cannot.
Non-approachable.
You can try and be as arrogant as you possibly can. You will never even come within 100 miles of a Yankee fan, especially if they win a World Series, which they seem to still do from time to time.
Tony.
Number 4.
I'm going to put the Astros fan base at number 4.
Interesting.
They were quite tough to deal with for a long time. They are getting a nice fat slice right now of humble pie as they sit 13-24 on the season. It is, listening to, I do a radio hit with those folks in Houston every week, and the temperature's changed. It's a little bit different. A lot more, I think they're missing old Dusty Baker right about now, and they were trying to get him up out of there. They'll fall at number 4 on my list.
I like it. My number 4 on my list consists of the Phillies fans mainly because of the NLCS games that I went to, and anytime the Phillies did anything, they were in your face, they were loud, and they were making comments that weren't very good, Chris.
Phillies fans, have an attitude.
They do have it. Schwarbomb! Like, I can't handle another Schwarbomb chant. And then when I went to the game earlier
How about
this
stop
year,
giving up Schwarbombs? Then we don't have to hear it.
That too.
That helps.
At the game when they were Ranger Suarez shut out the Padres, they were like, "Can anybody actually hit on this team?"
All right.
It's just so annoying.
Okay.
So annoying.
Sounds like that sounds like every fan in baseball right there, to be honest with you. Number 3 for me is going to be Braves fans as well, for one simple reason. They had the run of 13, 15 straight years in the playoffs. They won the division. They were good. Braves fans were feeling all that and feeling themselves. They only had the one World Series to show for it. But beyond all of it, the most annoying things about a Brave fan is the constant tomahawk chop, which has run its course and ran its course maybe 2 decades ago, but yet continues to infiltrate our society nonstop, and Brave fans think they're really special because they do it.
Tony?
Yeah, no, Braves take the 3 slot for me as well. That run really had them like feeling themselves for a long time.
Yeah.
Like even when that run was over, they still were walking around with their chest up. And it hasn't really changed much, honestly. I just think we've gotten more used to it over time. I do feel like they've taken it down a notch since that Maddox-Glavine time when they were running through the National League most years. I don't feel like this lineage of the Braves fan base is as cocky as the 2000 version.
Yeah. But how about the fact that the entire world is politically correct, and then Brave fans just say, forget it. We're going to do exactly what we want to do. Yeah.
Hey, Chiefs fans do the same.
Politically correct this.
We're not doing football fan bases right
now. My number 3 is going to be twofold. The Astros is the team. Number 1, because they had, as Tony said, success for so long. I hate it when fans immediately just turn on the team when they're bad for like the first time in forever.
For real.
I hate that. And the other thing that I hate is whenever you bring up that World Series with the Astros, the fans completely forget that they cheated at all and it was found that they were cheating and all that stuff. They always say, "Oh no, that was just something made up by the media," and I hate that because it's not true.
They conveniently forget that.
Yeah.
I think as time's gone on, I think the Astros championship has gotten even a bigger asterisk just in the minds of a lot of fans. I do.
I think
really
we're forgetting about the cheating scandal.
I don't think so. I think when we look back and you say the Astros won the World Series, we go, oh, yeah, the year they cheated. And it just goes right with it. Anyway, number 2 for me is the Chicago Cubs fans. Ooh. Now, I thought about 2 teams for this slot, and I thought about the Phillies and the Cubs. And both of them have fans that are just absolute, I can't say.
Be careful.
Yes, they're just rude. And they're rude and obnoxious, and, they're looking to basically create some sort of havoc with their language. And but I'm going to give the nod to the Cubs fans because at least the Phillies fans stand behind it. The Phillies fans say, we're arrogant, we're but you know what? Just deal with this. Just deal with it. Cubs fans are arrogant, they're buttheads, but Cub fans say, feel sorry for us because we're the lovable underdog, never win Cubs, and nothing ever good happens to us. The Cubs try to present this feel sorry for us attitude when in all reality, they're as hardcore as anybody else. So misrepresenting themselves is why the Cub fans land at number 2.
We got Fist City and we got today.
Yes.
Some new words.
He's coming up with some gems today.
Gems. Tony, you're number 2?
Yankee fans.
Ooh.
I have, and you know what? I don't really want. I'm gonna take them off.
Wow.
I respect Yankee fans. Believe it or not, after being in the old building during that World Series and going head to head with some of the best trash talkers in all the United States, I got a lot of respect for them because after that game was over, they showed respect. Even though they won, my family and I were walking out. They weren't really they didn't really rub our faces in it. So, I'm going to take them off the list. I am going to put the Angels fan base on it.
Really?
When they were good, that stupid rally monkey and all of the they were good for a little bit of time.
Very little, yeah.
You would have thought the Angels were good for 20 years the way they were walking around.
Yeah.
The rally monkey.
And I haven't forgot about that. So I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna put them at 2.
Oh, I love that. That was a good.
The rally monkey landed in the 2 spot on his own, pretty much.
Mine is going to be the Yankees, and the only reason is I grew up hating the Yankees, and I grew up believing that I was supposed to hate the Yankees. And now that Yankees fans have Juan Soto, they can't stop telling me about how nice it is to have Juan Soto on your team. So I can't stand them.
Number one is the easiest. This is the easiest countdown number one I've ever had in the history of countdowns. Real quick, I'm just gonna get a mirror. Okay. I'm gonna hand it to Scraby.
Okay.
I think we're both
look
gonna
in the
have
mirror.
Same number one.
I just took the
look
mirror.
in the mirror.
I'm showing Chris his
Thank
reflection.
you. Look in the not my reflection.
My
your
reflection. Oh, I gotta turn around the mirror.
Turn the mirror around. Look at yourself.
It's me.
It's
what are you
you,
saying?
Giants fans.
Yeah.
San Francisco Giants fans.
Okay.
It's not even close. It is such a blowout. Giants fans, you are the
agree.
absolute most annoying people on earth. I know you're not a Giants fan per se, Scraby.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for saying that.
your attachment to the 49ers makes it close enough.
Yeah.
And the reason that I don't like 49er fans is the same as the Giant fans. They think they own the earth. The Giants, thank goodness they finally got something done with Bruce Bochy, because before that they hadn't won anything and they still walked around like their didn't stink. They're so arrogant. They're so Giants fans. And I used to live with a couple in college, and it made me hate them even more. And they also take over San Diego quite a bit. I wish some of them would go back to the Bay Area, frankly, or the, as we said earlier, the Golden State.
Yeah, the Golden State.
I'm Giant fans. Just because most of them are also 49er fans doesn't help.
Oh my God, they all are.
Yeah, they are. So
what the heck, guys?
Oh, come on, this was so easy.
Some of them are Raider
The minute
fans,
this category came up, I was like Giants, and then I'm like, I got to think of 4 more.
Tony, you're with the Giants too?
Yes, Giants are certainly the number one most annoying fan base. I mean, they have still the chant that sticks in my head to this day that used to just very little gets under my skin, but that used to get under my skin. What's the matter with Gwynn? He's a bum.
Oh, wow. Never heard that one.
Game long. I told you, it's stuck in my head.
Yes, it sounds like it.
And it goes along with the crappy cold weather that you got to plan every time you're there, the swirling wind every time you got to go there.
Even if you're not a miserable Giant fan, the weather makes you into a miserable Giants fan.
You're immediately miserable when you walk outside. So that Giants number one on my list of most annoying fan bases.
I've never considered the Giants to be annoying at all. So
it's because you're a Giant.
That's because you're from San Francisco.
Can we set this straight before people start coming at me? I am not really a Giants fan.
But you are still related.
You love the 49ers enough for you to take some of this Giant heat right now.
You're right. I grew up a Giants fan per se, but that's just because my family were San Francisco fans. I know more about the Padres in the past 6 years than I know about the Giants in 55 years.
We're not saying you're a Giant fan. You're a 49er fan, and it's close enough.
All right. My number one is actually going to be a certain aspect of a fan base, and that would be those lame A's fans that are trying to get them to stay, but instead they just make it about themselves and just be angry at everyone else because the A's are trying to move out. They tried to get Jenny fired. They tried
you're like bringing in 500 A's fans on this? What we doing here?
How many of those people are there? Yeah, there are not too many.
You gonna put the whole Oakland A's fan base in it because of it?
No. I just said they're
having their team taken away from them, though. So you're
saying
that
they got a reason, though.
You're saying that some of them are trying to blame Jenny Kavner for the fact that they're leaving.
Well,
I don't know about that.
I did see some of the ridiculous Jenny Kavner hate down there, but
that
I
was
didn't equate.
Okay,
yeah, I
right,
didn't equate that to the fan base, like the whole fan base.
All right, fine.
You got a substitute number one,
right.
or are you just?
I'm deciding if I want to just be a jokester and say something, but I'm not going to. I'm going to instead
just keep your Oakland, dude. We can't.
You can stay
but I
with
like
it.
the A's. I just don't like those fans.
You don't like those 23
There
fans.
it is.
Yes, I do focus on small groups of people for some reason. I don't know why.
All right. Well, they upset you. It was fair of you to realize. But your number one was 23 fans.
Actually, here I got one. Texas Rangers fans, because they act like they're don't stink.
Oh,
that's interesting. They haven't mentioned me Texas Ranger fans.
Okay. I don't have a number one.
I'm just messing with you,
I
man.
don't have a number one.
You can use the Giants if you want. There's plenty of room.
Yeah, sure.
On the Giant hate bandwagon.
You know, I'll just say Mets just to make Frank mad.
Just to get Frank upset?
Yeah.
Well, they're under 3 times, so it's good.
It's good.
Everybody has the Mets on their list.
There's our countdown. We got
Chris versus the fans.
coming up next, chance to play some trivia, win big prizes. Call in 833-288-0973.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
Coming up Monday, just hoping everybody survives.
sir.
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, hi, how are you? Welcome back. Gwynn and Chris rolling along into hour number 3. 4:01 is the time. A happy Friar Friday to you wherever you may be this hour. 97.3 The Fan brought to you by Express Employment Professionals. If you're ready for a new job, Scraby, pay attention. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is your one connection for a summer job in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. I guess that's expresspros.com. It's not, I guess. It's just that the rest of the read ran out here.
You know, some of the reads that we've had this week have been problematic.
Poorly put together by whoever puts these things together.
We actually, during Annie Nelson yesterday, when I was in here playing the game, Craig had to read the first read that I actually sent to Adam on Monday and said, this makes zero sense. Do we have to read this? And Adam said, don't read it. And Craig ended up...
And he ended up trying to read it?
Yes, and it was so bad.
Yeah, if you're ever wondering out there, we don't check these things. We just start reading them.
I do sometimes.
And then we get taken down the wrong road. Chance right now for you to win a pair of tickets to see the San Diego Legion. That's great rugby. They'll take on the defending champion New England Free Jacks at Snapdragon Stadium. Match is coming up on May 19th. I believe that would be a week from Sunday. Tickets are on sale now at sdlegion.com, or you can win a pair right now. But all you have to do that is beat me in a game of Chris versus the Fans.
To win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get the question wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question, or you win. I got to say, Chris, about the job thing real quick. I've been able to keep jobs that I've had, but finding a job has been incredibly hard in my life.
It's not easy for anybody.
Yeah.
Honestly. I was talking about that with somebody the other day. I believe there's only one profession that I know of that you can get a job almost without fail.
Pro athlete?
No, not pro athlete. Are you kidding? A lot of people want to be a pro athlete.
Oh, I see what you. I thought you meant like older guys.
No, I'm talking
back.
about just like going into college or going into school and then trying to find a job that they need people. Nurse.
Oh yeah, I have heard that many times.
If you want to, I can't guarantee you'll be a nurse, but if you want to put in the work and go to school for it, there always seem to be looking for nurses out there.
They are. I've seen that as well.
But other than that,
teachers as well.
Okay, teachers?
Yeah.
Nurses probably pays a little better than teachers, which
it
isn't necessarily
does.
the reason you would do it.
No, it definitely does.
But it does bring up the point that teachers make far too little money, and a lot of other people make far too much, but that's neither here nor there.
I just wanted to bring it up because some people in the chat were saying that they're out of work and they're looking for a job right now.
It's
and
tough.
So I wanted to say, I'm sorry, I've been there.
Feel for all you guys and girls out there.
It's a terrible time
It's a very
in
tough
people's
time
lives.
to need, and it's a tough time to try to find a job, even if you really, really want one.
This is a pre-stopping drinking, Scraby, but I was so desperate for a job, Chris. I started just dropping off resumes at local offices, and one guy told me...
Were you sober when you were dropping them off?
Yes, I immediately...
That would probably decrease your chances
you're
a little
right.
bit.
I mean, I probably wasn't looking or smelling like the greatest person in the world, but still, I got so mad one time. I was like, what do I have to do to get a job?
Perfect.
And they're like, sir, can you please leave?
You know what? While we're going on this, we might as well stick with it. How are you on dealing with people that are begging for money in the street? And I honestly feel really, really bad for these people.
Me too.
But what concerns me is that a lot of them actually don't really need the money, and they're just like trying to take advantage of the situation.
That is concerning.
So it's hard sometimes to say, here's a bunch of money, go blow it on alcohol, or go add it to the stack of money you already have, as opposed to trying to take care of somebody who really could use a boost. We talked about this the other day when you read the story about, who was it?
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather gave out all that money to those homeless people.
He gave out $10,000. And I've been trying to find like a follow-up on that. But those guys, I remember reading that article, were very nervous that people were going to rob them or beat them up and try to take their money. But in San Francisco, I worked for one of my college classes. I had to work with like a homeless shelter for a little bit.
Okay.
And they always said, bring, if you have leftovers after going out to dinner, make sure that the leftovers aren't like gross
Bring
or
that
anything.
to people.
But like
on the
give them a
streets.
meal or give them, a gift card to a restaurant, and that will make you feel a little bit better. One time I offered a guy fat-free Oreos, Chris, and he told me he doesn't eat fat-free food. And I said, okay, I will take my Oreos and I will leave.
He needed extra fat food.
Yeah.
If he was going to accept your gift of charity.
Yes. Anyway.
All right. Well, just threw that out there.
Yeah,
It's something that I think about often.
Well, I mean, going to the game tonight, driving down that Imperial Avenue, it's sad to me. It really is, because there are a lot of people that need help. Anyway.
True that.
Yes. All right, let's get to our contestants, and we're going to go with Chris first. Not this Chris, but another Chris. Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Hey,
Not
Chris.
too much. Are you ready to play?
I'm a first-time player.
First-time player.
Welcome into the game.
All right. Here we go.
You're on to
Question number
question number two, just like that.
Let's see. Retired pitcher Josh Beckett played for 3 teams in his career. Name all 3.
Josh Beckett.
So, Marlins,
Okay.
Red Sox.
Okay.
The third one, tell me.
You don't know it?
Beckett. Let's go. Giants.
Giants.
Stay there, though. Stay there. I'm not going to say which ones are
I
right or
remember
wrong.
the Marlins and the Red Sox, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable about that.
Okay.
Feeling less comfortable, but I think I remember him toiling for the nasty old Dodgers.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah. Finished
Thank
up
you
his
for calling,
career in
Chris.
LA.
Thank you.
Close, Chris. Very close. Good try.
All right. Let's get to our next contestant, Justin in Encinitas. What's up, Justin?
How we doing, fellas?
Ah,
Hi,
pretty
Justin.
good. Are you ready to play?
Absolutely. Let's
Here we
do it.
go.
Let's play
go.
ball.
Who is starting for the Padres tonight?
Starting
Pitcher.
I hope Michael King can pull it out for us.
There you go. All of us are, Justin. All right, here we go to question number 2. We'll stay with the team thing. Marcus Stroman currently plays for the Yankees. Name the other 3 Major League Baseball teams he's played for.
Okay. I'm gonna say A's.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go Cubs.
Okay.
And oh man, I don't know. Marlins.
All right. Stay there just in case. But Chris, Marcus Stroman plays
3
for
other
the
teams?
Yankees. 3 other teams he's played for.
Cubs was right. He missed the Mets and he missed the Blue Jays, I think.
Sorry, Justin.
Good try.
All right.
Good effort.
Was that too hard of a second question?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, it's the luck of the draw.
All right.
You know?
All right. Let's go to our guy Cesar. Haven't talked to him in a
Cesar.
long time. What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy days to you, Cesar.
Are you ready to play, sir?
Let's do it.
All right. What former Padres pitcher currently has a 1.92 ERA for the Royals?
Oh, man. It's one of 2 guys. I'm going to go with Waka.
Oh, no.
Pick the
Chris?
wrong Picked the wrong guy, unfortunately. Seth Lugo is off to a great start for the Royals. Tough break, Cesar. Tough break.
I hate it when the good contestants get eliminated first question.
It happens.
All right, let's go.
And, you know, good contestants win sometimes, too.
Yes, they do.
You don't seem to hate that.
Nope, not at all.
Anytime they can beat me, you're a happy person.
Absolutely. John in East County. Hello, John. How are you?
Hey guys, happy Friday.
Happy Friday,
I
John.
used to listen to Ron Oakes with my transistor radio under my pillow on school nights.
You like that? Yeah, Ron Oakes. I'll tell you one thing. He's a great hockey broadcaster.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Really
Okay.
had the voice for it. Had the staccato, great delivery. But he had a temper.
I like apparently so. I mean, he went to Fist City. I love that you said you listened to it with it under your pillow, because when I was a kid, I listened to sports under my pillow too in the radio.
Yeah,
so.
I did.
All right, here we go. John, question number 1. What city do the Indiana Pacers play in?
I believe Indianapolis.
Correct. Question number 2. On ESPN.com, what position do they list for Luka Doncic?
Forward.
A forward. All right, stay there though.
I don't
Chris is
understand.
giving me a really weird look.
What position does he play?
Yeah, what position does ESPN.com say Luka Doncic plays?
Oh. Point guard? I don't know. Oh, okay.
Wow.
I didn't know what you were
sorry,
quite
John.
after there. Sorry, John.
Well, I went to the Luka page earlier today, and I was looking.
You were surprised by that.
He's not a point guard, is he?
I don't know. He dribbles the ball up the floor, and he
So I guess he is
runs
a point
the
guard.
offense.
I guess he is the point
He's
guard.
tall.
Yeah,
for a
that's
point
what I'm
guard.
saying. Like, it doesn't matter.
But
I
Magic
guess.
Johnson was 6'9". He was also a point
It's true.
guard.
All
So,
right. Fair enough.
Not impossible.
Not impossible. Let's go to our next contestant, Armando. Hello, Armando.
Hello.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's see if we can take them down.
All right, yeah.
Attaboy,
Let's do
Armando.
this.
Go get it.
What inning did Jurickson Profar hit his home run against Imanaga on Tuesday night?
The 8th inning.
8th inning is correct.
Armando's off and
Good job,
rolling.
Armando. Question number 2. What Padres pitcher has the most strikeouts in a single game this season?
Dylan Cease.
Dylan Cease is correct with 12.
Yesterday, right?
Yes, was there, because Chris gave it a look like there was another guy. Did someone have a 14 strikeout game this year?
No. Glass now did for the Dodgers.
Okay.
But, not for
Michael
the
King had
Padres.
10. That was the, okay. All right, here we go to the third question, Armando.
Armando's one answer away from taking down his stated goal, which is taking me down.
Yes, here we go.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm with it.
Do it, Armando.
Who is the last pitcher? No, wait. No.
Ah, gee,
Who is the only player to win All-Star Game MVP and World Series MVP in the same season?
Oof. Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
Oh, he hasn't won a World Series.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper. No, not
Bryce
even.
Harper. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. He has won a World Series. It is not him, though. Mike Trout.
World Series.
As soon as Armando said it, he was like, wait, no.
This is a hell of a question, Scrape.
Thanks.
I got to tell you.
Another MLB.com special.
Yeah, World Series MVP and what? All-Star Game MVP.
Yep.
All right. That could be just about anybody, really. I don't know.
Oh, that's it?
I guess I should guess somebody. Edgar Renteria.
Oh, he won that MVP of everything else.
Yeah, I looked him up today, so he came to mind.
Wow, Armando.
Armando,
you
you have done it. You have taken me down.
Stay there, Armando. I'll get you information in the break. It was Derek Jeter.
Ah, all right. Would have been a good guess, being as the Yankees won quite a few.
Yeah.
But it's hard to match that up. World Series MVP and All-Star game.
Wait, Harper didn't win a World Series with the Nationals? I thought he did.
No. He was gone from the Nationals the year they won the World Series, so he had to wear that for a little while.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think he still has to wear it because he hasn't won with the Phillies.
No, I knew he didn't win with the Phillies, but I could have sworn, but no, he wasn't.
I know.
Right.
It seems like he was with the Nationals that year, but I think he had gone.
No, you're right. He did, because that was the joke, is that as soon as he left the Nationals, they won the World Series.
Right.
Thanks,
One of those
Brandon.
weird ones where they have a star player, he leaves, and then the team wins it all. And then they try to blame it all on Bryce Harper as if that was the reason.
I think Bryce Harper, when he was introduced by the Phillies, he said something about the Nationals. He was thanking Nationals people.
Yeah. You can say what you want. That guy's a fairly good player.
Oh, yeah. Bryce Harper. I tell Chris this every time I see him on TV. He's usually doing a home run trot when I see him on TV.
He hit a 3-run homer in 3 straight games this week. So
really? I didn't see that.
Well, he had a 3-run, and then a grand slam in the next game.
Dang.
Yeah, he's pretty good. All right, very good, Armando. You're good, too. A nice win. I will tell you, All-Star Game MVPs are quite arbitrary.
I'm kind of out of questions.
That's
so
why it's
you're okay,
really
Chris.
tough to get that one. But
You're
well
okay.
done for Armando. We'll take a break. More Gwynn and Chris after traffic.
Hey, it's Gravy for SD Fat Loss, and I'm going to start this one out like this. If you call and you start their program and you mention Scraby from 97.3 The Fan sent you, you will get $200 off. So keep that in mind as I tell you about my 40-pound weight loss journey. I was definitely skeptical of the program when I first started it because all the other diets I had tried did not work, and I was really tired of dieting and not seeing any results. But I started seeing results in the first couple days, and that motivated me to
right, Armando has walked right in here and said he's going to whip my butt in Chris vs. the Fans. And then he did it. Oh, boy, Armando. That's the first time that I think anybody's actually come on and called their shot.
That is true.
Most people have a lot of respect for the guy who answers all those trivia questions. Armando had none at all.
I don't know that that's
just ran
the case.
roughshod over me.
I just don't know if that's
well
the
done,
case.
Armando. No, that's fine. I liked his character out there. He's a Chris vs. the Fans winner. You'll get your chance starting Monday. Padres and Dodgers pregame show. Sam Levitt has it a little over than an hour from right now. NBA playoffs are underway. So far, the refs have not made any bad calls against the Pacers. They're leading the Knickerbockers 12-4 in the first quarter. But just wait, Rick Carlisle. Pretty soon these refs will get the message that they're supposed to cheat for the Knicks, as they did in the first two games.
Yes.
Florida and Boston, no score first period, NHL Stanley Cup playoff action. The experts have spoken, Scraby.
Okay.
Less than, 3 weeks since the NFL draft was, came out. And I thought this was interesting. The experts at ESPN were all asked a bunch of different questions. Among them, what was the biggest head-scratching pick of the draft? Well, I think this was an obvious answer.
Yeah, Michael Penix.
I mean, Bell, whoever Bell is, I think it's Stefania Bell.
Oh, yeah, I know Stefania.
She said Michael Penix to the Falcons. Hard to justify this pick. Some guy named Bowen.
Matt Bowen?
I don't know.
Yep, I know who he is.
All right, he said Michael Penix, obvious, this is stupid,
okay,
etc. A couple more Penixes.
What did Field Yates say?
Field Yates, he said Penix.
Okay,
he said that was just the dumbest thing ever.
What did Mike Clay say?
Mike Clay wasn't on this list.
Okay, he's more of a betting guy, I think.
But some guy named Fowler was.
Oh, Chris?
No, not Chris Fowler, but another Fowler.
Okay.
Biggest head-scratching pick, according to him, Ricky Pearsall to the San Francisco 49ers at number 31.
Well, he's a bum, so.
Said Fowler.
That writer.
Said he's a bum.
He's a bum.
Said Fowler, I'm not about to doubt Kyle Shanahan's eye.
It sounds like you are.
For offensive skill players, and I love Pearsall as a player.
Okay.
But his place as WR6, I guess he was the sixth receiver drafted.
No. Oh, I see. Okay.
Was
I
unexpected.
thought that was depth chart.
No, he was the sixth WC
Gotcha.
wide receiver. He said, most teams I spoke to pegged this guy as a day 2 pick. And considering the 49ers still have Debo and Brandon Ayuk, what were they thinking? So there you go. Dummies. You dummies.
You know, I've said this, Chris. I feel like sometimes Kyle Shanahan tries to outsmart everyone, and it's got him in trouble. He tried to do it with Trey Lance. Trey Lance didn't work out. He's not even, I don't even think he's on a team right now because the Cowboys
really, I will say this about, our guy, John Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's our guy. He's a San Diego guy.
He knows how to put the team together.
But that's what I'm saying. How many teams in the NFL could screw up a quarterback selection of Trey Lance as badly as the 49ers did?
Lose all the picks that they did.
Lose all the picks they lost, get nothing for the guy or from the guy, and still be in the Super Bowl. Like a lot of teams, that mistake, right, of drafting Trey Lance and trading to get him and all of that and the big disaster that's been.
Yeah.
For a lot of teams, that'd be the end of the road for 5 or 6 years.
It would. And Kyle Shanahan, I think, got lucky because Brock Purdy showed up and was able to take the pressure off of him for why isn't your quarterback that you drafted number 3 overall any good? I think if that went different, Kyle Shanahan might not even be the coach of the 49ers right now.
Well, Brock Purdy's saved a lot of hearts in San Francisco so
He
far.
saved mine, Chris.
Yes, that's right. He is the guy. And no, the rumor's not true. When Will Smith comes up to bat tonight, they're not going to put a picture of Brock Purdy up on the scoreboard.
No, it's not going to happen. That would be. Would that be on par with?
Be pretty smart.
Would that be on par with the crying Kershaw meme on the board?
A little bit. But,
okay.
If you're wondering why I'm saying they put up a Brock Purdy picture, they're not getting the connection because it would be the Padres basically saying that Will Smith is Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, Brock Purdy was
in
Mr.
reference
Irrelevant.
to Will Smith's comments about our friend Jurickson Profar. Matt Bowen, you mentioned him, NFL analyst. He was asked, give us a bold prediction for the rookie class. I think this is a bold prediction right here.
Okay.
He says Bills wide receiver Keon Coleman will lead all rookies in TD receptions this year.
It's a random thing.
Coleman was the first pick of the second round by the Bills from Florida State. So he was the 7th or 8th, maybe the 7th wide receiver taken. But here's Matt Bowen's rationale.
Okay.
The Bills have traded all their wide receivers.
So
he's the
there's
only one they
one?
have. And Josh Allen's still going to throw a bunch of passes down in the red zone. So you would think if Keon Coleman has any skill at all and makes this team,
that is pretty
might
good.
be a nice pickup.
That's a pretty good explanation. It's pretty simple to think about, actually.
It seems to make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, the Bills. Who knows?
Mike Clay, that was your guy from earlier.
Yes, I like Mike
He was
Clay.
asked which mid-round pick will have fantasy value.
Oh, yeah. Mike Clay is good
in
at
2024.
This. He does his own analytics,
well,
everything.
He better be right about this one.
Who is it?
Jalen Wright, running back, Miami Dolphins.
Ha!
I don't know about this.
How many running backs do the Dolphins need?
How many are they going to have?
They have A-Chain. They have Mostert.
They still have Jeff Wilson, I think.
Jeff Wilson. They have this guy. They have. Do they still have Myles Gaskin?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they have him. But they definitely have Mostert and they have A-Chain. But he says, enter the speedy Jalen Wright, who has a path to a massive role in this fantasy-friendly environment.
You know
you know what? This is such a typical stupid move by the Dolphins too. Really, even if this guy turns out to be good, I don't know how good he is. Whatever.
Rod said he's a beast.
Fine, but you already have Mostert, and you're spending a ton of money on him. You've already got A-Chain, who you're developing. Why are you wasting a pick on another speedy running back when you need somebody to block for these guys? Dolphins are so stupid. They're so addicted to shiny objects they can't figure it out. Jordan Reed, by the way, mid-round pick that will have fantasy value. Same guy. Jalen Wright, Miami Dolphins.
Good thing.
I know, but I don't know.
Something happened out at Point Loma Nazarene University today, Chris.
I saw that. Do you want me to tell everybody what it is?
I've seen this on the chat a few times, so it's becoming more frequent. I think we should.
Well, good for PLNU. They're in the middle of the Pac West baseball tournament today in Azusa, California.
Okay.
And the PLNU Sea Lions.
Yep.
Is that one of your old alma maters?
No, but I did call play-by-play for them one time.
Yes, you did. I knew you had a connection.
Yes.
They put up a record-breaking 23 runs today.
Oh, my goodness.
In a victory over Concordia College or Concordia University. 23-9. I'm assuming the game went over whatever the spread was.
Now, Dan is saying they have a Game 7 maybe later today, Sandy said.
They have a winner-take-all game. This forced the winner-take-all game, which is, I believe, being played right now, according to what I can tell. So good luck to Point Loma Nazarene College. Also, continued good luck to the San Diego State women's softball team, which is going after the Mountain West Conference title this weekend.
Nice.
And is off to a good start. I believe they won their first game 9-1 over Boise State. We need to take a timeout, and when we come back, Tony returns for the Big Five.
Ooh, PLNU up 2-1 in the bottom of the first right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back. 4:38 is the time. Florida Panthers are on the board first in Boston, 1-0. Indiana Pacers still getting all the calls. Leading the Knicks 28-20. First quarter winding down, game 3. Real quick, I mentioned the Point Loma Nazarene baseball team, which is going for the conference title today. And in the championship ahead 2-1. And I also touched on the Aztec women's softball team. They did win again today. The Aztecs. They beat Nevada 4-1. Mac Barbara is the Aztec slugger, like of historical proportions. She hit her 14th home run of the year today, her third in the last 4 games. And she led the Aztecs to the victory. So San Diego State has reached the championship game now of the Mountain West Conference tournament. Last year, San Diego State played in the not only NCAA tournament, Scraby, made the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament in softball.
I remember that.
Hopefully they are going after that again, led by the dynamic hitting of Mac Barbara, who is on a 9 for 13 streak at the plate. Oh,
it's a pretty good streak.
Not bad.
I don't know what happened on those other 4 hits, but whatever.
Yeah, how'd she get out 4 times? What's the matter with her?
Seriously.
All right, let's get back to Tony. Let's get to traffic and then the Big 5.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Got a number of problems we're working with right now. Southbound side of the 15 past the 805, there is a stalled vehicle in one of the right-hand lanes. Also a crash on southbound 805 just past the 52. It's over the right shoulder. A couple cars involved. Southbound 5 right before Pacific Highway, there is a collision involving a couple vehicles there over the right shoulder. Northbound side of the 5 right past the Coronado Bridge, there's an accident in the center divide. Stop by into the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car. It usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. And Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big 5 starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, if you listened to the Scraby Show last night, you are going to know about this hot topic that we brought up on the show last night. And I know you guys are not going to like it at first, but bear with me as I ask the question.
Number 5.
But Ken Rosenthal has reported the A's are listening to trade offers for closer Mason Miller, and he even brought up the Padres as a potential destination. The benefits are you get a reliever who is striking everyone out right now, but... and actually, he is under control, his contract control through the 2029 season. However, the price to acquire Mason Miller is not cheap. Rosenthal said the Padres would have to give a Jackson Merrill level of player just to start. And we're not going to talk about trading Jackson Merrill. But Chris, how much of a role do you think the contract control plays in a potential deal?
It probably gives you a better than average shot at being interested in somebody like that. If you didn't have any contract control, AJ Preller's pretty fond of getting guys that are under control, it seems to me. Padres do have a budget. I think that's pretty clear. So, that would have to definitely play into it quite a bit. Now, I think this is an intriguing name. He'd be a huge get for the Padres because right now the Padres do not have a shutdown guy for the 8th inning. They continue to struggle to find that. I honestly believe that Dylan Cease was sent out for a 7th inning the other day at Wrigley Field, as much because Mike Schilt didn't trust anybody else for the 7th inning as it was because he was pitching so well. I mean, he was at a very high pitch count, and they were able to get another inning out of him. Padres, need to get this 6th, 7th, 8th inning settled, and, Miller would be a great addition, but, when you start talking about players that are already on the roster starting in center field, then I'm probably going to have to stop talking to you about it.
Yes. Tony, how much do you think a role do you think contract control plays in a potential deal with Mason Miller?
It's everything. Why do you think the price is so high? They're controlling you until 2029. Is that what you said?
Yeah, through the 2029 season.
Yeah, no, it's all of the.
It's all of the intrigue.
It's all of the intrigue, right? Obviously, he throws 100. That's the first part of the intrigue. But the reason why they can ask for such a high price is because you basically get him for the cheapest possible price through 2029. We're in 2024. That's 5 years of control. And so, heck yeah, anybody who gets him is gonna get taxed on it, regardless of what the team is.
My issue that I brought up last night is that Mason Miller is not really a proven reliever yet. Yes, he's been good this year, but he's only played for like a month and a half.
He's as proven as Robert Suarez is.
Right? Don't trade
Robert
for
Suarez
him.
had what? Sorry,
Don't trade for him then. If that is how a team feels, take yourself out of the running, because this is the price tag for a guy throwing 100, having a lot of success through the first month and a half. Now, if teams are smart, unless they are desperate right now, you know what they do? They wait.
Yeah.
Let him start to struggle a little bit. Maybe the price tag comes down. You still got a remarkable arm. You still got 5 years of control. But that's what the price tag is.
Yeah.
I'll say one last thing about trading for Mason Miller. You'd have to be pretty heartless if you're AJ Preller or any other GM to trade anybody that you even remotely consider a part of your family to the Oakland franchise.
I didn't know where you were going. But that's pretty diabolical.
That would be diabolical. I mean, can you imagine the conversation you had with Jackson Merrill? Hey, Jackson, San Diego, spectacular. We really love what you've done, but we're going to ship you to the Oakland mess
I don't know
right
that
now.
that's any more diabolical, though, than sending Steven Wilson to the White Sox.
Bring that up.
Well, fair enough.
That's pretty diabolical.
Yeah, it was.
Poor Steven Wilson is just stuck in purgatory right now.
Yeah. At least he's got a chance to maybe get out in the next couple of years.
That's true.
Whereas the Oakland thing, I don't think that's ever changing.
Mason
Miller.
Miller.
Because they also would have control for the next 5 years over Jackson Merrill. Although he would be in Vegas at some point if that were to happen.
If that ever happens.
Yeah, but we're not even talking about that. Jackson Merrill's a Padre, and a Padre he will stay.
Number 4.
Mike Trout decided that having surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his left knee was a better alternative than postponing the procedure and being a DH the rest of the season. He said to reporters yesterday it was an option they put out there. It would have been just maintaining the pain level of it. The day I got the MRI and it showed a tear, I was in a lot of pain, so it would have been a tough road for the rest of the season to bear that. I felt the best option for me was to get it right and be fully healthy to come back soon, end quote. I am not one of these people. I'm taking that
I read
off.
that wrong.
You read it wrong?
I thought the surgery was going to allow him to be in the DH role. But he was saying the article was saying was that if he had the surgery or if he didn't have the surgery, he would only be able to DH
for the rest of the season.
I got you.
But I am not one of these people I'm about to bring up. Some say he should have at least tested it and tried to play through it for his team. Tony, was this the right move for Mike Trout?
I'm so sick of people, man. Like, first it was Gobert, like people criticizing him for missing for wanting him to miss his birth of his first child.
Well,
that's crazy.
COVID, so.
Yeah, he did start COVID, but he wasn't the only one being a jack. True. During that time, and now people want my man to try it out. The dude just finished telling you how much in pain he was prior to the surgery, but you want him to test it out? Like this, I can't with people. Like, let this man listen to his body, have the surgery so he can get back healthy as quick as possible. Because here's the thing. Let's say he waited, right? Mm-hmm. He waited to do it. He tried to go through the process, which is probably like another 3-4 weeks. And that's time wasted. Like, he had the surgery. Now he's at least on the road to getting back healthy for this season. A meniscus is not a slow or is not a fast recovery thing. So I think Mike Trout did the right thing, and please continue not to listen to these folks telling you should have waited.
Chris?
Mike Trout should have tried to play and forget his own personal feelings and health. And that's basically what you want me to say. I know it because of the way you asked the question.
People. I am not one of these people.
He said he's not one of these people, Chris. And then he sat back and knowingly listened to our answers because he is one of these people.
No.
You don't care about anybody else's health. You care only about trying to get your team to win a ball game. He did the right thing because, again, the Angels are still not going anywhere.
Right.
Even if he was the DH this year.
I think that helps in his decision.
Yes, it's much easier for him to just sit back and watch another season be wasted by this franchise. I feel bad for Mike Trout because he just flat out cannot get healthy. I think, it's going to all take its toll when he's done with his playing career.
For sure.
And everybody sits back and looks back at the resume of Mike Trout, and instead of referring to him as one of the greatest players of this generation, they're going to remind themselves that he was hurt all the time. And this is unfortunately something he can't escape, but it is really ludicrous of other people to tell athletes what they should and shouldn't do in terms of dealing with their own private lives and injuries. It is really... It's not right.
I am not one of those people.
Yes, you
Chris.
are.
You are.
I'm not.
You're
No.
so one of those people.
I don't think my thought
Zion
process,
Williamson, I'm so tired of him sitting out games.
That's
Mike
different.
Trout sitting out games.
Zion Williamson was doing windmill dunks while his team was struggling to make the playoffs.
That's a good point.
Number 3.
Toronto has been awarded a WNBA franchise that will start play in 2026, according to multiple reports. It's going to be the league's first team outside the United States, and the new Toronto team would be the 14th team in the WNBA. An expansion this is how the article wrote this, so you tell me where this is going to go. An expansion franchise in Golden State is set to join the league in 2025. So where's Golden State, guys?
It's a Bakersfield.
It's going to be a Bakersfield team?
You know where it's going to be.
I know where it's going to be, but, talk about someone who has no idea about California. I don't know why this bothered me so much, but it did.
They called all of California
They just said an expansion franchise in Golden State. Like it's a city.
As if it's a city.
Yeah, like in Oakland or something. But
they were trying to be cute with their writing there, I think.
They're starting next year, 2025. San Diego has been named as a city possibly able to support a WNBA team, and they could play at Viejas Arena. Chris, well, we'll get to you in a second. Do you think a WNBA team would succeed here?
I think it'd have a chance to succeed here. I would love to see something like that come to San Diego, and especially the way that the WNBA is going right now. Yeah. This coming season is easily the most highly anticipated season in the history of the sport. There's nothing even close to it. People are going to be tuning in, watching games. They're not just going to watch Caitlin Clark. I think they're going to see Caitlin Clark, and they're going to find other players that they like to watch play, and therefore they're going to start watching them. They're going to be following teams a lot more closely. I think San Diego would be a great landing spot. I'm all about any professional level team coming to this town. We are shy in that area. So, unfortunately, bottom line, I don't trust the movers and shakers of this city to ever get something like that done. We seem to have some success when it comes to soccer. So maybe we got to talk to the people who bring soccer to this town and ask them why it is that they're able to have success where people trying to get other sports done here are not. Because I think Viejas Arena is a viable place for them to play. But again, you'd have to get San Diego State in on it. But
I signed them up for it, so San Diego State's cool.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes.
But that's the one venue that we have in this town for basketball that is shiny enough, to fit a WNBA franchise. And there's no question if that league came here, people would be out watching it. This sport's gaining momentum.
Tony, do you think a WNBA team would succeed here?
I have my doubts.
Ooh.
As much as I would love for any and all sports to be here in San Diego, I'm not sure that the folks here would support the WNBA. I would love to be proven wrong, though. I think ideally, on paper, this is a great place to bring any sports franchise. But I'm not sure that the folks out here would support it. I'd make my way down to VA's to watch some WNBA for sure. But I don't know that there would be enough people over time to do it. But again, I want to be wrong on this.
Well, I don't know that you would be wrong on that, but I've been pleasantly surprised at the kind of support the Wave have received, which tells me that women's sports continue to grow in the minds of fans. I think the San Diego professional soccer team in the MLS is going to do well. But I think that since the Wave has done so well, and I don't think you can only say that's thanks to the stadium. I think people have really kind of enjoyed the evening out and that experience. Hopefully that would translate. But
I think that piece right there was what pushed it over, that vote over the top, was that they knew that soccer could be played there.
Yeah.
I think that helped push it over the top. I just know that just because I have 3 girls, there are just so many young girls that are into soccer here in San Diego, and I don't know that it's not like that in women's basketball out here in Dago, but it just felt like the Wave thing was already kind of built in when they landed here, right? We got the stadium first for the football team, and then a couple years later, maybe 3 years later, the Wave arrived. I just think they had so much more momentum than the WNBA does. But again, I want to be wrong on this. I would love for all sports to be here in San Diego. This is that type of city that we should have everything.
Yes, we should.
It's not. It didn't hurt the Wave that they had one of the best soccer players in the world on their team now.
That also helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Ahead of rookie minicamp today, actually, Bears coach Matt Eberflus wasted no time in naming Caleb Williams as Chicago's starting quarterback.
No.
He said, "No conversation. He's the starter." He told all the
Who did he
reporters.
beat out for that honor?
The mop in the closet.
I was going to say, I don't even know another possibility with the Bears.
He's the starter, Eberflus said, and the Bears have several benchmarks that they expect Williams to reach over the next few months ahead of training camp. Quote, full understanding of the concepts, run, pass, checks in his fundamentals, the fundamentals that we have in place for him, which he's really good fundamentally, but we have some things we want him to work on and improve on as well, end quote. Tony, why do the Bears hate Justin Fields so much?
Wait,
why do the Bears hate Justin Fields so much? It just seems like the Chicago Bears are willing to move heaven and earth to get Caleb Williams to be happy, but Justin Fields had nothing, and they continued to throw him under the bus.
You know what my theory is?
Justin Fields
is that
not
they
a
got
good
a
guy?
bunch of dudes. They have a bunch of dudes that can't coach, and so when you can't coach, then you have to blame it on the player.
That is
right?
a far out point.
Football is different than I think baseball, and in some ways basketball. I mean, basketball is probably a more comparable sport because the X's and O's do kind of matter, especially in football though. And so if you're not setting your quarterback up around his skill set, that's what the thing that was crazy to me. It just felt like they kept trying to do things that he wasn't good at. Right?
Like be a pocket passer, and he was
and
like, I'm
then
not.
when they let him do his thing, he would make magic. I don't know. I just think that they're not very good. And I don't think even Caleb Williams is going to be able to save them when it's all said and done.
Chris, why do the Bears hate Justin Fields so much?
I don't know, but the worst coach in the NFL right now is Matt Eberflus.
Over Sean Payton?
Oh, Sean Payton at least has a Super Bowl he can go back
right?
on. Matt Eberflus
That was like
is not
ancient times.
Matt Eberflus is the worst
doesn't have
coach in the
anything.
He's the worst coach in the NFL. And all you had to do was watch Justin Fields in the games where he started to do his own thing out there, because Tony's right. He would make magic. And then the next game would happen, and they wouldn't have any of those plays in the game planned. I mean, your coach of the Bears is an idiot. The franchise is stupid. So I agree with Tony. I think Caleb Williams is going to struggle a lot more than we think. I think people are looking at the addition of Keenan Allen, the addition of...
Watch how pissed off those guys are at the end of this season.
That's right. When Keenan Allen can't be figured into the game plan, he'll catch 14 passes, and the next game they'll hand
DJ
off.
Moore.
They've got weapons. So here's the thing with Eberflus. You better be careful because this is going to be the year where he totally gets exposed. He's not going to have any more excuses after this one's over. If you look at the Bears and they're 4-13 with Williams and Keenan Allen and everything they've brought in there, people are going to start understanding that the guy doesn't have very good understanding of what he's trying to do. Where did he even come from? I don't remember. Baltimore running back coach or something like that. I don't know. I just think that Chicago's going to stink as long as he's there, and that who's the GM? Ryan
Poles.
Yeah, they got problems in
That's
Chicago.
a great name.
They got problems.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Colts before becoming
the Colts.
the Chicago Bears.
Well, and they had one of the great defenses in the NFL history while he was there.
That is the other problem. He has a head coach that is a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
So I mean, this, typically those end up not working great.
Yeah, the only coach that is even close to Matt Eberflus is that Shanahan guy in San Francisco, but he gets the nod because he can at least get, into the playoffs.
That was
where the 49ers, by the way, over the last 10 years have won more playoff games without winning a Super Bowl than any other team in the league.
You know what that tells me?
Just a reminder.
Consistency, and I'm cheering late into the year every year.
Consistency and ultimate failure.
Heartbreak.
It doesn't matter. I get to see my team playing that championship
Doesn't matter.
game.
Really?
I get to see it.
Does not
Live
matter.
it.
Does not matter. You just play to be very good. Interesting. Not surprising, but interesting.
Stop it. Could a coin flip have decided the fate of Brock Bowers? Apparently so, guys, according to another player. Terrion Arnold, he ended up getting drafted by the Lions, but he thought he was going to go early. He was on this podcast called The Next Round, and he said, actually, the Raiders coach, they called me after the draft, and they were like, we actually had a coin toss between you and Brock Bowers.
Pierce.
Yes, it landed on him. I was like, oh, wow. However, Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce said neither a coin flip nor a phone call occurred. He said no call and no coin flip. As soon as the last two quarterbacks went off the board, we said Bowers all the way, end quote. Antonio Pierce also said the Bowers pick was decided before the Raiders were even on the clock. So, Chris, who's lying here?
Terrion Arnold.
Why, though? This is the thing. I don't understand why.
I don't know, because he's looking
to
he's got to motivate himself and say, they passed on me.
But he's going to make up a phone call?
I don't understand why guys do what they do, but why would the Raiders organization lie about it?
See, that's because it's so stupid that it could be true.
No, I think what happened here is that, honestly, I think what happened was there was a discussion. This is really simple. If you think about it, there was a discussion, and Antonio Pierce probably said, yeah, it was a coin flip between you and Brock Bowers. That is a colloquial way of speaking.
Wait, so you're saying that he meant it as a phrase?
Yes, it was a coin flip. We want. It's a total phrase. Have you never heard of it before?
It's a toss-up.
It was a toss-up. All right, it was a toss-up.
But he didn't. He said a coin flip.
Yes, because it's the exact same thing in the world of a phrase.
I get
to
it.
say that we really thought about you. We thought about Bowers. It was a coin flip. We went with Bowers.
I think it's crazy that you're assuming that was his intent.
That's exactly what happened, because I can't believe the Raiders would honestly sit there, pick up a coin, and let the future of their franchise be determined by that.
Come on, man.
And then call him and go, we're such a bad franchise that we've resorted to doing coin flips to determine our players.
That's a good point.
Tony? I hate these people are going to make me hate podcasts. Like, everybody just gets on there and just says ridiculous stuff all the time because they want clicks. That's what this stuff is turned into. Clicks. Get some clicks. Say something crazy.
I clicked on this podcast, and I had no idea.
He has a podcast,
no,
his own podcast?
He was on a podcast.
I was going to say, because I've never heard of this guy, nor would I have ever heard of this guy if he didn't say something this stupid. So now I know who he is, so good for him.
They didn't, coax it out of him. He offered it up straight away.
Sure he did, because he wants to say something controversial so that people will know who he is. These guys are, I'm going to give him credit for being at least that savvy.
All I know is we are in a time where, tea rules all. So if you can create some tea, just ask Shannon Sharp. Ever since he had Cat Williams on there, he's just turning up everything.
Yes.
I mean, Shaq now, it's just This is
Drake,
where we're at,
Kendrick
y'all.
Lamar, T everywhere.
I'm surprised.
where we
Honestly, I'm
are.
surprised you're not more popular than you already are, Scrade, because you say silly, stupid, out of the real things all the time.
All right,
You
Donovan
should be right
Solano
up there
when we
with
get back
Terry
here
Arnold
on
and the rest of these guys.
97.3 The Fan.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Everybody needs a little time to warm up. That's why we ease into each show with a little foreplay at 6 a.m. Tune in to Ben and Woods weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station.
Every day is an extraordinary Earth Day at Computers to Kids. C2K is celebrating 20 years of helping keep San Diego green by taking your donations of computer systems, laptops, and tablets out of landfills. For 20 years, C2K has refurbished computers and has donated thousands of computers to low-income families, seniors, and veterans across San Diego to help shrink the digital divide. Every day is Earth Day at C2K. Learn how you can help, give, donate. Go to c2sdk.org.
Right now at 7-Eleven, get a big bite hot dog and a large big gulp drink for only $3. It's the kind of big meal that'll make you feel like a big deal. A big shot, a BIP. That's big important person. You could be top dog with a hot dog, a big wig with a big gulp. Stop by 7-Eleven and grab a big meal deal for only $3 with 7 rewards. But don't get a big head. Valid through 1/7/25. 7-Eleven has the right to end this promotion early. All rights reserved. Plus tax. Participating U.S. stores only. See app for full terms.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we know our members go above and beyond every single day. That's why this Military Appreciation Month, instead of hearing special thank you messages from us, we thought you might want to hear them from your friends and family.
I'm Ben from Navy Federal Credit Union. This Military Appreciation Month, I'd like to shout out to my first mentor, Stephen, from the United States Marine Corps.
Happy Military Appreciation Month. I'm giving a shout out to 2 of my very good friends for the last 20 years. Jason, Kansas, thank you for your service, and carry on, my friends.
I want to give a shout out to my brother AZ1 RG Castillo. Thank you for all that you do for family and country. Happy Military Appreciation.
On 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, rolling on into the happy hour here. I think we were going into the happy hour, rolling, going, working our way into the happy hour. There's all that word was all of those and put together. 5:07 is the time. Crisello, Matt Scraby together in our Odyssey Palace studios. Tony down at the stadium. And Sammy Levitt getting ready for the Padre pregame show, which comes up at the bottom of this hour, ahead of tonight's game between the Padres and Dodgers at Petco Park. We'll try one more time to ask everybody to enjoy the game tonight, scream and yell like crazy for your team, and don't concern yourself so much with your neighbor who might be rooting for the other team. Let's try to get out of there without too much carnage tonight at Petco Park.
Good call.
Let's try to take care of each other a little bit. The news earlier today was not great. We had some sad news. Shawn Burrows, former first-round pick of the Padres, passed at the age of 43, died last night while coaching his son's Little League game. That's it. That's all the information that we have, anybody has at this time. Burrows was a Little League World Series hero, twice leading Long Beach to the World Series championship and throwing no-hitters and hitting home runs and doing all of that. His pro career with the Padres maybe didn't go the way a lot of people would have wanted it to as a number one pick. But Shawn Burrows is pretty well liked around here. And to hear of his passing at such a young age, such a shame. Also, we lost the great sports agent, Barry Axelrod, at the age of 77 today.
Someone on the chat was asking if you had any, knowledge.
I don't believe I had any connection to Barry Axelrod. My wife spoke with him once about some work, and he was helpful to her. Heard nothing but good things. I know he's the agent for Phil Nevin and many others, Jake Peavy, and some. But, in the wake of these two, bits of information, it just, I don't know, at least it gets me thinking that, a lot of you are going to go to the game tonight like your life depends on it, and guess what? It doesn't. So try to enjoy the game, have fun, scream, like I said, and yell for the Padres or whatever the case may be. But, let's try to keep it all within a grain of salt. It's a key series, but it's only May the 10th. The Knicks and the Pacers, Game 3 of the Eastern Conference playoff. I must say the officials are cheating in the Knicks' favor so far, Scraby. There's been 9 fouls called against the Pacers. 9 flags. 9 flags on the Pacers, only 6 on the Knicks so far. So the officials are doing everything they can, but they got to work a little harder.
I know. I can't believe it.
Because despite it all, the Pacers are leading the Knicks 55-53.
This is ridiculous, Chris.
1 minute to go in the first half. Tyrese Halliburton, the officials can't slow him down. He's hit 5 threes already in the first half. He scored 23 points as Indiana has a 2-point lead. Jalen Brunson is playing in this game, has scored only 11 so far for the Knickerbockers. But we know what Jalen Brunson does.
Score.
He dominates the fourth quarter is what he does. So we'll see.
I have an update on Point Loma now that we're into it.
Oh, good. Let's get a score update.
We definitely need it because in the top of the third inning, Point Loma is now leading 8-1. They scored 6 runs in the bottom of the second inning, including a grand slam, and I will not say home run.
The Sea Lions are on fire.
They are.
All right, go get them, Sea Lions. They're going after the conference title today. We mentioned the Aztec women's softball team with a win today. They're trying to close in on the Mountain West Conference championship there. So a lot of that going on around the county, around the area here.
Now here's what's coming up in your neck of the woods. Isn't that what Al Roker always says?
No, I never watched Al Roker. I get up early now, but I never watch TV in the morning. Isn't that weird? I don't like to the only thing I watch that I've watched, had my TV on before noon in recent times was the beginning of the Padre Cub game the other day.
At 11:20?
Yeah. For some reason, I have never, some homes you grow up as a kid and the TV's on when you wake up.
Yeah.
You come downstairs, TV's on. It's blaring. People are, It was never on in my household.
Really?
So I just never got used to watching TV in the morning. So I don't
There's
know.
Not much good stuff.
I don't know Al
in the morning.
Roker. I don't know Michael Strahan. I don't know
Nate Burleson.
Is he on?
Yeah.
Really?
On CBS, I believe.
That guy, Nate Burleson.
I think he's on Good Morning America.
Really?
I think
thought
so.
Strahan was on Good Morning America.
I think Strahan. I can't comment on this. I don't know that.
So
for
you don't
fact.
really know.
No, I
either.
know that Nate Burleson does Good Morning America stuff. I've definitely seen him on Good Morning America.
Well, now you got me intrigued.
Intrigued.
Nate Burleson, a Canadian-born.
I didn't know that.
American television host. Played for the Vikings, Seahawks, Lions, and Browns. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I knew that.
And now, well, you know what? This whole Wikipedia page is about his his pro football career.
But that's not what we know him for.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what you just said. He's like this big guy. He co-hosts. He's been now at Paramount co-hosting CBS Mornings.
Okay.
So I think you do have it mixed up. So I don't think he's on Good Morning America.
Oh, I see.
That's a different show.
I've
never watched Regis and Kathy Lee or any incarnation of that show.
I never did either.
Yeah.
I like. I'm a big Today Show fan.
You are?
Yeah.
Who's on Today Show?
Savannah Guthrie is on Today Show.
Is that the one with Hoda Kotb?
Yeah, Hoda. Yeah, it's not Kotb. It's Kotb.
Okay. Well, she still needs
Hoda
to buy,
and Savannah.
She still needs to buy a vowel. Kotb.
And then you got
something wrong there.
I think his name is Craig Melvin. I like Craig Melvin. He's pretty good.
Related to?
Not Bob Melvin.
No? Okay.
And then there's one other. Oh, Carson Daly is the pop guy.
Carson Daly is still around?
He's the pop culture
doing
guy.
TV stuff,
He's
huh?
married to someone who does cooking on the Today Show.
Carson Daly.
Yes.
He was very cool back in the days of Total
Request
MTV Live or whatever they called it.
TRL.
Hey, I came close.
Hey,
it's not bad.
That was like the last era of appointment TV for me. Was TRL.
You know,
because they would debut videos and things like that.
There's two things that I don't watch on TV any longer. Well, first is morning TV, which I never watched. But something I no longer watch, which was a staple for many years for me, was the late night talk shows.
Oh, really?
I don't never recall missing a David Letterman show.
Really?
No. I watched every David Letterman show for all times.
Did you ever go see him live?
I didn't. Not in New York. No, I didn't. But I really, I always enjoyed that show. When I, wasn't watching that, which I usually was, but I would flip over to whatever it was, Leno or,
Conan O'Brien at some point.
A little of Conan O'Brien, but mostly Letterman. But I don't even barely know, like Jimmy Fallon,
Jimmy Kimmel,
Steve Carell. No, not Steve Carell. He's the other actor. What's the guy on the other channel? Steve something or no. Channel CBS.
Steve.
He came from The Daily Show.
I don't know.
You really don't know?
Trevor Noah?
No, not Trevor Noah. Somebody text us the name of the 11:30 p.m. CBS late night.
I'm looking it up right now.
Show host Stephen Colbert.
Oh yes, I definitely know
Stephen
him.
Colbert. I've never watched his show, and I've only briefly watched Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. Mostly because I'm older and I just don't stay up that late.
Yeah.
But I used to just think that part of the night was important. That was my pop culture world, getting all of that stuff. I didn't miss any of it. Now I miss all of it. So I don't know what's going on late night, and I don't know what's going on in the early morning.
I've never been a late night person ever.
Really?
So, yeah.
We had a thing at my fraternity called the Late Night Club.
No, back earlier before DVR, before all that, late night was definitely a thing. I don't think it's as appointment watching TV as it used to be.
All right, they're at halftime. The Pacers lead the Knicks 63-58. Again, Halliburton the leader with 23 points. The NBA officials have just released a statement apologizing to the Knicks fans for not trying to cheat hard enough.
Okay. Are you ever going to get over this?
I'm probably
I don't
not.
Think
I'm
you
really,
are.
really, really upset at the Pacers and Carlisle and that whole organization for basically saying that the league is cheating them out of this series.
This is your Shohei Ohtani for me.
Yeah, it really bothers me that you're saying stuff like that, especially when you're winning the next game. So don't. I mean, where are the officials tonight? Obviously, they're not cheating as much. But if you lose, then you're going to tell me the officials started cheating in the second half.
Probably.
That's just nonsense. All right, Donovan Solano was our Friar Friday interview. We got a chance to meet him. He's from Colombia, same country as Nabil Crismet, same hometown as Nabil Crismet, actually, and also same home country as Jorge Alfaro. So we'll get a chance to meet Donovan when we come back after traffic on Gwynn and Chris.
From the
Here it is, Scrappy. On behalf of Knick fans everywhere, we promise to cheat a whole lot more in the second half. Our deepest apologies. Signed, the referees in tonight's Knicks-Pacers game. We've been told by the NBA to cheat. We're just not doing a good enough job of it. Am I overdoing it?
I think so.
All right.
Now I know how you feel when I start going crazy.
Right, I know. You just get something bugs you, and it's bugging me. Pacers still lead 63-58 at the half. NHL Game 3 in Boston. The Florida Panthers lead the Bruins 1-0. One other thing to update before we get to Donovan Solano, Scrabe, and then Sam Levitt's pregame show. He'll have all the stats and stories for tonight's ball game and the big weekend series coming up. Sammy also will have some sound from Luis Arraez on the eve of his first Padre game at Petco Park. So you won't want to miss any of that. Stay tuned for the pregame show. Drive safely on your way into Petco Park. But you know who Nelly Corda is? Scraby, I know you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not know, or they might just kind of recognize the name and go, where is that? I can't place it. Nelly Corda's a LPGA star. Yeah, kind of a star. She's won 5 consecutive tournaments, which is something that had hardly ever been done before, I think once or twice in history. So Nelly Corda today, or this weekend, is at the LPGA tournament, which is in Clifton, New Jersey.
Oh, great place.
I know, it's not. But it's a big tournament. They got all the, star players in this one. And she's going after her 6th consecutive tournament victory. 6 in a row. She shot a 6 under 66 today in the second round. She's at -9. She sits 4 shots off the lead, however. She's in 3rd place behind Madeline Sangstrom and Rose Zhang.
Oh, yeah.
Rose Zhang was the superstar from Stanford, who I believe won her very first tournament ever a year or two ago.
She did some crazy stuff. Her and
Rose
Lydia
Zhang
Ko.
did?
Yeah, well, yeah, she did. Lydia Ko did when she was, I think Lydia Ko was, I think she won a tournament at the age of 17.
Lydia Ko is number 2 in the world right now behind Nelly Corda, who, from everything I've heard from my golf source, you know who my golf source is?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything I've heard about Nelly Corda, she's a little bit of a wacko.
I did not say
you
that.
You said exactly
I did not say that.
You did so.
Why do you do this to me?
Because
I did
fired
not.
her caddy in the middle of a tournament.
She did.
Okay, well, that makes
it's
you
a little psychotic.
There you go. That's all I'm repeating is what you told me.
To fire a caddy, point to her, I think, boyfriend in the crowd
and have
say,
him come
get
out
over
of the crowd
here.
to carry the bag. That's a little bit crazy. But she's really, really good at golf right now. 4 shots off the lead as she looks for her 6th win in a row. All right. Tony and I caught up with Donovan Solano. A chance for you now to meet the most recent addition to the Friars.
Our Friar Friday guest is here as well. Joining us here on Gwynn and Chris, new Padre, Donovan Solano, joins us here. Donovan, welcome to San Diego. Thanks for coming on today. How are you?
Hello, thank you for the welcome. Yeah, I'm good. Enjoy the city. Yesterday on my off day, I'm here back at the base again.
I tell you what, be able to get an off day in San Diego when you first join the ball club has got to be a bonus. Let's talk a little bit about the journey and how you ended up getting here to San Diego. We knew that it seemed imminent that you were going to have a chance to come up here. You come up, you waste no time, you get a couple knocks. I mean, how have you felt like in terms of the fit and getting to know your teammates? How has all that been so far?
I mean, before be with the team, get on my deal minor league, I knew this team was gonna win, so I was excited. So the first thing I did when I'm signed is go to minor league to get ready. I want to be here the quick as possible because I want to know everybody. I want to be part of these. They want here, like the win, go to the playoffs, and win the World Series for this beautiful city. So, I'm excited. First day was excited. I tried to getting my bets for for help the team win.
Donovan Solano is with us. Donovan, after last season in Minnesota, then you're a free agent. Does it ever do you get a little nerve-wracked during the off season, waiting for a new team to come along and for you to hook up with a new team? Because maybe you had to wait a little longer than you might have wanted to for the Padres to come along.
Yes, I don't know what is the business going on, but I don't have any offers for the big league deal. So I'm waiting for the opportunity, and that's come out with the San Diego Padres. The reason I'm signing with minor league is because I don't have spring training, so I need to get my body in shape for that situation, get ready for the call-up. And at the same time, it's a time I passed with my family. I enjoyed it, but was so weird because, and that time have 15 years I'm going to a spring training, so it was a little weird time, but I enjoyed that time with my family at the same time.
Donovan, it was around, I think, 2019. You kind of finally were able to get your feet in and play some good baseball. I mean, you put some quality numbers up in your time in San Francisco and in Cincinnati. There was a change between, 2016, 2019 as a hitter. What was that change for you? Because ever since we've got a chance to see you on a consistent basis, I mean, you put together a professional at bat every single time out. What happened in that change in terms of the hitting process?
Okay, that question give me a lot of people ask me about that question. And before 16, personally, in my life, inside my soul and my spirit, was something I need to change. So I'm praying a lot. I try to find my God, Jesus, and what is the Holy Spirit, and they help me a lot with my approach in the hitting. About I don't try to do too much. I just trust the process. I understand my approach, try to find the barrel to the ball, and I don't try hit homers. And I just, try to get a color at bat and try to be simple. And I believe that God helped me in every aspect in the game. And that's what it is. That's why I changed everything. That's why I changed my number before and after 16. And it's not something like I working, physically. It's more like mentally, with my spirit, with my approach mentally, instead of physically. And I enjoy every moment in that day, and I'm enjoying what God helped me in every at bat. And the good reason is I had a story can say to everybody it's like I do it, everybody can do it.
Donovan Solano's with us now. Real quick, Donovan, you're from Colombia. I don't know if Padre fans remember the last Colombian player we had here was Jorge Alfaro, and he was very, very popular in San Diego. Do you know Jorge? And if so, are you as crazy as Jorge Alfaro?
Yeah, I know him. I know Jorge Alfaro and Gwynn Chris May too. He's from Colombia too. So
yeah.
Those two guys, I know those guys. When I was, we played together in Colombia, and I know Jorge is a little crazy, but at the same time, he's a good person, like Nabil.
Well, we appreciate the time, Donovan, and wish you the best of luck. I know you got a lot to do on your first day in San Diego playing for the Padres. Good having you aboard, and best of luck, man. Here's looking forward to you contributing to the success of this team this year.
Yeah, that's the plan. So thank you for welcoming me, and I will enjoy San Diego. I will enjoy this team, and it's going to be a fun ride for this 2024 season. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Donovan.
Thank you, Donovan. Very good, Donovan Solano there. He's not in the lineup tonight. Doesn't mean we won't see him after the Padres knock Tyler Glasnow out of the game. And, well, we can hope. Luis Ariz, Fernando Tatis Jr., Jay Cronenworth, Machado, Mr. Irrelevant, Jerks and Profar will bat fifth. Xander Bogaerts, Jackson Merrill, Campusano Kim, the starting 9 for the Padres. Dodgers go with Betts, Ohtani, Freeman. Ohtani's been pretty hot lately, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got 11 homers now.
I think he leads the league in a lot of the hitting categories.
I don't think he leads in homers, though. I think that's...
Is that Ozuna?
I think Ozuna hit 2 the other night. He's ahead of him. But Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Mr. Relevant, will bat cleanup for the Dodgers. Max Muncy, sucks. He bats 5th. Teoscar Hernandez. By the way, somebody was talking, Dylan Hernandez was telling us, boy, that Teoscar Hernandez sure strikes out a lot. I was checking it out. Max Muncy's already over 40 strikeouts. Teoscar Hernandez is coming up on 50 times.
Wow.
He's already struck out this year.
50?
This year. Yeah, he strikes out a lot. Andy Pages. I think some, whatever. I can't get it yet. Hopefully Jesse Agler will...
Jesse will have it correct.
He'll have it correct.
Yeah.
So however he says it is how it is.
Pages.
Yes, Gavin Lux and James Outman rounded out for the Blue Crew tonight. Sammy Levitt has all the rest of the information for you in the Padre pregame show, which follows immediately. Scraby.
You know who's, real quick, who's tied for the lead in home runs with Marcell Ozuna?
In baseball?
Yeah.
Gunner.
No, he's close. He's at 11.
Who?
Kyle Tucker. That surprised me.
Mr. Tucker.
A guy who's playing for a losing team has 12 home runs.
Kyle Tucker's got 12. He snuck up on me there.
He snuck up on me
All right,
too.
for Scraby, Tony, I'm Chris. Stay tuned. Sammy! We're back Monday to break down the whole series at 2 o'clock, so we'll talk to you then. Enjoy. Behave yourselves. Look out for one another a little bit. And go Pods.